Hello, guys. Hope you are all well. God bless you all. Here today with my brother, the Watchman. Unbelievable guy, child of God, and he's going to really help all of us today um, see through the symbolism. So, with me, I obviously have a great gift with numbers, breaking down the Bible, and somewhat predicting the future. But we do live in a world of visual learners. I was actually speaking with my sister yesterday. I'm delighted. Much love to you, Don. Um, she's got hold of like this illustrated Bible. It's got the Bible, but it's also got images. So, for example, she showed me an image of Jesus washing the feet of the disciples. And for her, that really helps her bring the text to life. For me, I don't need images personally. I think they're awesome, but I don't need them, especially with the Bible. But images, symbolism, obviously, we know in Hollywood they communicate through symbols. We've got so many images to reveal that to you. So we really hope you enjoy this today because we're going to try and also explain what these symbols mean, what they represent. They're not just randomly putting them up. I believe that they're worshipping false gods, Egyptian gods, Greek gods, Roman gods, or goddesses. Um, and they are the ones who basically give them their fame and fortune, but then they have to sacrifice to them, they have to honor them, and often attempt to blaspheme God um, to stay relevant, to stay famous. This is going on in all circles, guys. It's sports, it's politics, it's music. Okay, it's everywhere you look. It's within the church, the Catholic Church.
Hmm.
Uh, it's all over the place within your brands. If you look at the brands of these companies, you start seeing it. Like most people don't know that Nike is the goddess of victory. Okay, you just don't know those things in general. People don't know that. Most people don't know that Adidas was founded in Bavaria, where the Illuminati were founded.
Yes.
It's just a lot of information, a lot of knowledge that most people are not aware of. We're going to try and bring as much knowledge as we can today. This ain't going to really revolve around the Bible like most of our streams. It's just going to revolve around images. And you guys in the chat, if there's a certain topic, a certain person you want us to look into, we can do that as well because there's two of us. So, Watchman, do you want to go ahead or do you want to give
Yeah,
it?
I'll just thanks for that, of course, as always, and great to see you all. Man, I wish that I could do this more because this is, while I may not get to stream like Adam every day and I may not get to, dive into the things that I find every day, that doesn't mean that I'm not searching every single day. And so the title today is How to Be a Watchman in Christ. And so that's what my, Watchman Inc. The ink stands for in Christ. Because what does Jesus actually call us all to do, brother? It is gonna, and so I don't want to
Disciples.
say that today's not going to be about the Bible, like I said, but it's actually all about the Bible because this knowledge and information comes from understanding the scriptures first. And so when we first met, do you remember, Adam? You're like, when I was telling you about, like, how I have all these images and I've been compiling. I've been doing this, so it's amazing what Adam's been able to do in the short time that he's been saved. Like, this is how I can tell you that Adam has a gift is because I've seen, I'm not saying I know everything, but when you've been doing this since 2011, this type of work and looking into these types of things, and there's people that have been doing it even longer. A lot of you in the chat, there's I know most of you in the chat have been doing this for a long time too, but there are a lot of people just waking up right now. And so when I woke up in 2011, and what I mean by wake up is my reality, like the reality that we're all under and that we all are a part of and that we all, like I said, participate in. Whether you believe that you participate in the satanic beast system or not is, you know, how it's like, I guess you can say you don't participate, but in the end, we all do. You know what I mean? And we all have, kind of fallen asleep to the power of this language, which is symbolism. Like, symbolism is a language, right? It's not just, oh, these guys just do this for art, or it's because they're so crafty, and they're just trying to be mind provoking. Like, for instance, let's start immediately. I've just got, I'm looking through. I've got over, like, 40,000 images just in some places and some other. I have to use cloud storage because there's no device that's made, for how much imagery I have.
I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to read out exactly what symbolism is.
Yes, do it. Yeah, this is why you need his books, because he goes into detail about the numbers, the symbolism. This is all connected. That's something we want you to understand today, is that this isn't random. This isn't just, oh, this is just people, it's all connected, and it's a language. And Adam breaks it down so well in his books.
Thank you very much, brother. It's not random either that we have 13 likes and 18 watching, like Revelation 13, 18. Here is wisdom, like him hath understanding. Count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six. So symbolism, right? It's universal. That's one thing with symbolism. And it's non-verbal language that uses objects, colors, or figures to represent complex ideas beyond their literal meaning. So obviously people can have their own take on what symbols represent, right? That's why they'll be like, the 666 is the AOK, all right? Or the invert sign is the peace sign. So it functions as a communication system in literature, in art, and daily life. And symbols are used to allow for deeper, often emotional interpretations that bridge cultures and convey abstract concepts like peace, danger, or identity. But also, these symbols are used to honor false gods. And you see that, like when we show the Baphomet image with the as above, so below, then you see all the celebrities doing it. When you see Osiris with the one eye, you see and start to understand, okay, they're honoring an Egyptian god or goddess here. So that's symbolism, and it's universal non-verbal language. And these celebrities and then secret societies, they communicate through symbolism.
And I
No doubt
mean,
about it.
and I mean, does not, again, people say, oh, this is just a modern thing. Does this look modern, brother? Does
No.
this look modern? Does
Yeah.
this also look like a people that didn't understand what they were doing? I mean, you don't sit here and you don't carve things into rock with chisels and hammers. Now, personally, from what I know, I believe they had much higher tech, like they had much more advanced technology in ancient times than even we see today and understand, and it's just been hidden, veiled, right,
Yeah.
through symbolism. See, I love, like, see, this is what I love. I love just like finding an image like this and being like, wow, like this was created and manifested on the earth long before I was even a thought. Long before both of our parents, before any of your parents, before any of your grandparents. You know what I mean? And people say, oh, see, Egypt, Jesus in the Bible, they come from all these false gods, Ra, the sun god, it's Jesus. No, this is what the demons and the angels that were showing humans. They were giving them knowledge and power, right? And they were giving them the understanding on how to do things in this life. Now, God wanted us to see and know how to do things, but again, Satan wants us to understand the true depth and the true knowledge. I mean, is that not Genesis 3? The pursuit of knowledge, right? That's what man is chasing, is knowledge. And see, in this, the tut, they put the snake and the bird head on the thing. Why would they just randomly put a bird and a snake on the pharaoh's tombs, right? Well, because they believed in the snake, and they believed in the ancient mythology that the snake was always battling. And, I'm not going to get into Egyptian lore right now, but they believe that the snake is symbolic for a constant battle. And so when like an eclipse would happen or something, they would think that the snake was trying to consume the sun. Now, isn't that interesting that story is centered around a snake consuming the sun? Who's the beginning liar, and who consumed essentially mankind in the beginning?
Satan,
The
snake.
snake, right? And so why is God telling us that the snake in the garden? Okay, now this is something too you need to accept. The Bible is littered all over with symbolism, right?
Yes.
And so there it is. Freemasonry. Why would a modern Freemasonry is definitely not as old as Egyptian culture, is it?
No.
So
But
why are
there is
they
there is
so
Egyptian Freemasonry, isn't there?
Yeah, yes, there is Egyptian freedom. And anything you have or think of, brother, please
Yeah,
pull up.
no,
Or anybody in the chat,
that
please.
that's the ride of Memphis Mizraim, and that was actually founded by the people that founded the building where the Oscars were hosted for 10 years.
What? Wow, what is that you said?
So if you go to
I'm gonna go
okay,
to Google. Yeah,
go to the ride of Memphis Mizraim. I'll put it in
right
the
of
comments
Memphis.
here. I'll put it in the comments.
Yep, right of Memphis Ministry. Right, Sharon.
Yeah. Okay, you there? Right.
I'm on the wiki.
Yeah. Well, just look into the history of it.
Well, let's look together. The right of Memphis. So this is what today. So see, we're starting with funny how we're starting with Egypt. Where's the place that God? See, this is what's funny when people tell me, yeah, see, the Christianity is stolen from Egyptian culture. How is it stolen from Egyptian culture when the text of the Bible is literally interacting with Egyptian culture?
Exactly.
Like the Hebrews, God's people are being, revealed through the Egyptian text. I mean, this is how we have the understanding of the Bible and the history of the Bible is that we go back to ancient Egypt and look at these hieroglyphics and these writings from these kings and these priests and all these religious leaders, and they're literally speaking about the Hebrews and the slaves. So how can one be taken from one when they're also interacting at the same time? You know what I mean? So this is why it's
They
important to study
actually
history.
understand the Bible is eternal. Okay, and
And yes, that is so as you see it, look, I haven't even like already I see a freaking where's my I got three screens, my lost my mouse. There we go. Right here. I mean, this image alone, the rite of Memphis. Look at all the symbology. What like it's the Ouroboros, the snake eating itself, the snake essentially see consuming the sun. You see the sun. I see if I can zoom in just a little bit more.
yeah,
Some of these images, hopefully you can see, but you can go look these things up to yourself if you need larger clarity. Look, it's like the one eye that's floating above. There's the gap. Okay, see this gap that's in between most the one eye, the pyramid, or these symbols or these things that are on the screen. This is because the gap has not been sealed yet, right? Except in the Luciferian. So sorry to clarify, in Lucifer's kingdom, it's not complete yet. The fullness of his kingdom is not complete. That's
hmm
why it's the floating capstone over the bridge, over the pyramid structure, or over these structures, right? Is because he's trying to bridge or complete something and make something one. Now, who's our bridge? This is connected. The one
Jesus.
eye. That's right. Jesus is our bridge. He's already bridged the gap between man and God, between the spirit and the flesh. But see, Satan's trying to disconnect man. So see, there's so much going on with our language and our understanding in just this symbol alone that if you don't understand the history or the context behind the snake and its ancient, almost rite of passage, like it says, the rite, like this is hidden knowledge that was given to these people from Satan to make them feel like they are God.
hmm
All right. So see, so much going on. You got the hammer. Who's the judge of all things?
God.
God, right? And then you've got the pillars. You've got almost like this mirrored pillar. I can't zoom in anymore, unfortunately, but you've got this like tower almost with a ball on top of it next to a ball, and then even a circle within a triangle. And then you've got the compass in the square. What is a compass in a square? A compass is used for a map. A square is to, is to show angles and the geometry, right?
Yeah, sacred. It's very
Sacred,
sacred.
exactly. So see, they're building like this stuff goes so deep that they're building it within. All right, whoops, zoom out. All right, so the rite of Memphis Misra is a Masonic rite combining esoteric. There's that word that a lot of people. How many Christians do you think understand the word esoteric? Now I know most of you in the chat or people, excuse me, people here watching. But how many Christians, how many churches are talking about esoteric Masonic rite
Very, very few.
in church? There are some, but they're probably on YouTube or they're probably branching out outside of just the normal Sunday pastor, And some would say, yeah, because this is all whatever to look into. Why? Why is the church so afraid to not focus on the devil, but to expose him and to see him for what he is? I mean, I get Christians telling me all the time, like, you need to stop focusing on this stuff and just focus on Jesus. What are we doing?
Exactly. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to just quickly go back to what we were talking about, the right of Memphis Mizraim. I'll share my screen very quickly.
Yep, go ahead.
Um,
There we
there's
go.
just so many organizations. I only stumbled across this when I was studying the Oscars. And
That,
that's what I mean, guys. It's just you do have to study. Like
yes.
God has gifted us, right, with a brain and discernment and the Holy Spirit now for those who are saved. But you still do have to put in work. You still do have to research. We're going to be here for hours today, and we come across things like the rite of Memphis Mizraim. So it's a Masonic rite, like my brother just said, combining esoteric spirituality with humanitarian ideals. But if you go here, I looked at all the locations of where they've hosted the Oscars since 1927, and they actually were hosted at one time at Shrine Auditorium, right? Which is obviously in Los Angeles, the Angels. Well, it's a division of the Shriners, okay? The Shriners. And here it is. The Shrine Auditorium and Expo Hall in Los Angeles was built in 1926, the year Queen Elizabeth was born, by the Al Malachi Shriners. But when we look here, you'll see that the Shriners organization is a playground of masonry requiring all members to be Freemasons, founded by Dr. Walter Fleming and actor Billy Florence. Now, when you go to Dr. Walter Fleming, right, you'll see this guy was really high up in Freemasonry, right? 33 degree. And then you've got Billy Florence, founder of the ancient Arabic order nobles of the Mystic Shrine. This is where they're hosting things like the Oscars. Okay, and the Oscars I've showed you it's like Sukkah, right?
Yes.
So you've got to understand this, that they are honouring, which looks like an Oscar. So this is what it all goes down to. This is who they're thanking when they thank their gods. It's hard for us, right? Most people I know don't believe in God. They've heard of Christianity, they've heard of Islam, Buddhism, okay, perhaps Sikhism. They've heard about Jesus, they've heard about Satan, they've probably heard about Allah, all right, Buddha. They don't know about Sukkah. They don't know about Baphomet. They don't know about Moloch. All right, they don't know about these false gods. Maybe they know some of the Greek gods. All right, maybe they know Zeus, for example, with Roman gods. But you've got to understand how they operate. So these people, all right, they set up these organizations which all come back to Freemasonry. Okay, they all come back to Freemasonry. They're very active in Freemasonry. And then you tell people this, they go, "Oh no, Freemasonry is a conspiracy."
Yeah, I was just about
Yeah,
to say,
there's no such thing as
I love when
Freemasonry.
people tell me.
It's like the USA. Oh my word, guys! Guess who's here? The guy who's going to do my wall. Watchman takeover.
Okay, I got you, bro.
Yeah, smash the like button as well. The 26 watching. Come on, guys.
All right. So again, it goes back to we're gonna okay, am I up here? Okay, yep. So I just when I see somebody when I see some of your favorite, celebrities or whatever, I would just screenshot it, Why? Because I'm just like, okay, at some point, you know, it's trendy and it's artsy and fartsy to do this one eye symbol, okay? Like, like in the NBA, it's like, oh, they're holding up that A-OK, or they're doing the 3-6 sign, because they're hitting a three-pointer, But like at what point, do all these different like people with different minds, different motivations, me and the illusion, we're very similar, like with our beliefs, like we've said it before, we're very aligned with a lot of the stuff that we agree on, and when it comes to the Bible and just the understanding and stuff. But there it is. There's the vow of silence, and this is back in the day. See, we're really blessed right now to have the internet and the understanding to be able to pull these
Yeah.
images up from the ancient text and the books. But in order to know the vow of silence, like 20, even 25 years ago, before the World Wide Web, you had to go to a library and you had to start looking up books, And so that's why I give a lot of credit to people like Bill Cooper, rest in peace, because they were doing even harder work than Adam and I do. I just literally take from Twitter, Instagram, all this stuff. There's a lot of collective of people now that are waking up. But that's also why it's important what me and Adam are doing, because a lot of agents are trying to wake you up to the truth because they're trying to push you also into a false narrative. If you show all this stuff and how everything with Freemasonry is real, like I'm showing you here, but you don't talk about the Bible, or you don't talk about Jesus Christ and how this is all going to, like, pass away, you're not actually helping people by just exposing the conspiracy. You actually hurt the movement of Christ when you're like, "Oh yeah, see, this is all satanic." Well, of course it is. But at what point do we show, that this is only satanic because they're ripping from the Bible, like the one eye right now? I mean, how many how many people have to do the vow of silence and this one eye, or the hand in the pocket, you know what I mean? The hidden hand. Because okay, this now, before we go even further, it is going to be all about the Bible because we've covered it before. But I'm sick of people saying the one eye is the devil symbol. It's not the devil symbol. You know who it belongs to? It belongs to Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I want to make a point here as well, just very, very quickly. Is
Any time, brother.
is that, and I've said this before, and it was an eye opener. A lot of these celebrities we're going to show you today, and politicians, world leaders, whatever it may be, there's definitely a handful that are actively worshipping Satan, right?
Yes.
A lot of them, like when we just broke down the rite of Memphis Mizraim and the occult and the Freemasonry and the Hermetic philosophy, all right, the Egyptian symbolism and all of that, you have to also understand that a lot of these celebrities are not knowingly worshipping Satan, but they are, right? This is really important, okay? So they look into esoterics. They do have this secret knowledge, all right? If it is of symbols and numbers, they definitely manipulate mankind. They deceive mankind. But I don't know if they're all actively taking part in satanic rituals. I think at the highest level, they absolutely are. I think like
Yes.
your presidents and things like that absolutely are. But there are some celebrities that will put up some of these symbols that will not really know what they're doing. So you've got to understand that, right? I'm not sticking up for everyone here, but there'll be some that make it and then they've got to do a photo shoot and they're told to do X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
But when you look at people who've been in the business 10, 20, 30, 40 years, all right, they're musicians, they're actors, they're writers, they're directors, all right, they've got their own brand. They know what they're doing. Somebody like him, he founded the Church of Satan. Right?
Yes.
He knows who he's honoring. There's no other way around it. You can't stick up for him.
And
All
you
right?
think that this symbol he's doing is the "I love you" for sign language, brother?
Well, that's not a face you would pull if you love somebody, is it? You'd have a smile on your face.
Yeah, and also, why is it that almost everything? I mean, like I said, we've all probably thrown this symbol up at one point in our life,
Yeah,
whether
I'm
that
trying
was
to
in
think why I would do it. Like, who inspired me to do that?
it was rock concerts, these celebrities, these
Yeah, I
idols. I
guess.
mean,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Whether you willingly know what you're doing, like these people, whether they willingly know that they're serving Satan. This guy knows he is willingly serving Satan. You don't create the Church of Satan unless you know. But see,
And you
they
also
try to
don't
shroud.
write the Satanic Bible.
That's what I'm saying. And you don't take all of these philosophies from ancient cultures unless you know what you're presenting to the public. But you see, with the Church of Satan, they try to say it's the individual thing. They try to say it's self worship. You see, this is where they get the public when people say,
Revelation, yeah.
yeah, they don't worship Satan, the actual character from the Bible. It's all about the rebellion of like the system.
Yes, they say Satan is the system, yeah. And
Yes,
they
see,
believe religion is something they want to escape.
yes, so see, that's why you see them hide behind this veil, like the Wizard of Oz. You see, they're pulling the strings and they're doing these things, and they're
Yes.
saying this isn't what you actually see. But see, that's the what is it? The like Hegelian dialect. If you don't understand what that means, we can look into it. It's creating the problem, but also then being the solution. See, that's what
Problem,
Satan did
reaction,
in the
solution.
beginning.
Yeah, problem, reaction, solution.
Problem, reaction, solution. So see, like this war that we're seeing right now happening, you guys, this is the problem of terrorism and stuff that we see happening in the Middle East and all throughout the world, and these false religions. They're not just a bunch of random people that are just deciding, oh yeah, we're gonna be terrorists. Where do you think they're getting the money from? You think just a bunch of random people that don't have a lot of money or access to military or strategical, wealth are just rising up and becoming super powerful? No. So like we see, okay, Iran, they have a bunch of nukes and they have things that we need to stop. That's why we need to bomb Iran because they're such a threat. Well, what about all the other countries and all the other things? Where do we lay the line that if everybody has them, then everybody's a threat? Like it's just funny how they say, well, this one people are doing it, so we need to take care of it, but we have them, so it's not a problem. But then how are we supposed to tell Iran, well, America, and you know what I mean? It's just funny how they create a problem and then they say we need to be the solution, but they're ultimately hypocrites.
Like
That's
coronavirus.
truly what it is. Exact, dude. And that's what, I believe got me really into doing what I'm doing now. I mean, I've always just kind of been in the shadow. I never wanted to be like a influencer or somebody. Like I enjoy my privacy. I enjoy, like, I have children, and even right now, like showing you guys my album. Like this is my this is my hours and hours with God, and
15 years, brother.
that's
15 years.
that's what I'm saying. This is my personal journey that, I have no problem sharing with you, but like it takes a lot to put yourself out here. And that's why it's funny when, you get attacked by some people that just call you conspiracy theorists or call you crazy. Like people that called me this for many years. Guess what? Guess who was talking about Jeffrey Epstein in 2014?
You.
That wasn't cool to talk about. That wasn't something people cared to hear about. And when I was like starting to do this research and I'm starting to tell people, I'm like, something's going on with like this particular character. They're like, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. And then we get Pizzagate and we get some of these other things coming out in 2017 before Donald Trump comes on the scene. And I'm like, yo, something crazy's happening. People are like, you're just a conspiracy theorist. You're crazy. How crazy am I? How crazy am I now here in 2026? Right?
You've proven people wrong, bro.
And I'm not trying to like, oh, look at me, I'm right and you're wrong. No, I'm just trying to tell you, I read my Bible. I understand the scripture, so that's how I can see. And that's what we mean by being a watchman. So I'm going to go over a couple Bible verses like the eye. Okay, we all see the one eye. We've seen it. It's on your dollar bill. And that's what's funny. It's on your money. If you're American, I know there's people that aren't American here, but I guarantee you, whatever currency that you have, that you use every day, they have some type of idol or false god upon it. And let me know anytime you need to share your stuff, brother. But here it is, okay? Verse 22 chapters of Revelation. What is God doing right now in the world? He is revealing. All right? He is revealing. And what is he revealing to? Our minds, the pursuit of knowledge. Because in the beginning, Genesis will go there. He said, man is now like us. He will know good and evil. Now, is this necessary?
Blessed are those with the eyes to see as well. The eye.
Yes. So when somebody says the eye, the one eye, oh, they're satanic. Well, yes, because these people know the light that they are shining this symbolism in. Again, they know who they are paying homage to. But do you understand the symbology of the eye? Because if you do, then you would know they're just ripping off from Jesus Christ and his teaching in Matthew 6.
That's all Freemasonry is.
That's all every religion or
That's all.
everything that we
That's
see is.
all every religion is. Yeah, that's why they all incorporate Jesus. All of them.
So when me and Adam met initially, and I gave him this program because I was like, you need to start using this program that I use so that you can show images with like your codes and stuff. And he goes, why do people need images? And that wasn't like because he wasn't trying to be like cheeky. He
No, it
just
was
simply,
more
like
like
you
the
said,
Bible. Like there's no.
exactly. That's that I was gonna put that perfectly. He literally told me, he's like, the Bible doesn't have images, and I was like, yeah, well, that's because the Bible is the thing that creates the image.
Ah, wow, yeah.
Okay, and here it is. It's the words are made flesh, right? And even with a piece of art or anything that you do in this life, it starts as a thought. Okay, a painter doesn't just start painting without having some type of inspiration or some type of energy that is manifesting. And I hate using that word, but it is what it is. Like they steal these words which are used to explain spiritual things, but see how they've hijacked everything. So you say one eye, you say manifest or this, and people are like, oh, new age, like, it's like, all right, let's slow down. Yes, but here we are. For your treasure is where your heart will be. Verse 22, Matthew 6. The light of the body is the eye. Now, why is the light of the body the eye and not the eyes? Why is Jesus telling us here the light of the body is the eye? If therefore in thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Now, what is Christ saying here? If your eye be single, what's the first commandment from Jesus Christ? Love God above all else, above literally everything. You cannot put anything above God, and he'll tell you why here in the next verse. Because if your light is single, solely focused on God and his word, you shall be full of light, because Jesus is what? The light of the world, the thing that shines light on darkness, who came to be they say follow the light. When you're in the stages of death, follow that light. That light is Jesus Christ. Otherwise, we'd all be lost in darkness. But now here in verse 23, but if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore that light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? And here it is, summed up perfectly. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one. See that word hate? You have to hate the master, and you will love the other, or else one cannot hold or despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. Now, why is it that Jesus said mammon here? We're gonna go to the Strongs.
Oh no.
We're gonna go to the Strongs, and we're gonna look up mammon. Four times. Can you guys hear me fine? I just muted Adam just because he's having a conversation with some stuff. He's doing some house stuff. Can you guys still hear me fine? Sorry, I don't know if that affects the stream. I just want to make sure. I got to make sure to unmute him. Yes. Hey everybody. Like I said, I'm just going to catch up with a little bit of chat. Was all about money. Johnny Cash, Osiris Rising. Yes. And Novus Ordo Seclorum. There it is. Thank you, Maggie. We're going to pull that up. Novus Ordo Seclorum. You see, this is an ancient religion. And Jesus is saying here that you cannot serve God and mammon. Why didn't he say the devil? Right? Why didn't Jesus just straight up just tell us in Matthew 6, you cannot serve God and you cannot serve the devil? Well, because he knew the root. He knew the root of all evil. And what is the root of all evil? Here we go. The root of all evil. So Adam said today it's not going to be about the Bible. It's always about the Bible here. It's always about the Bible with this research. If it's not about the Bible, what are you doing? Again, there's lots of great conspiracy theorists and people that are sharing the truth and have these pages, hidden knowledge, blah, blah, blah. But if they ain't bringing you back to the scriptures, then they're doing you a disservice, right? 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. You see how it's all connected? There we go. Matthew 6 to 1 Timothy 6:10. Connected, because Jesus said you cannot love God and you cannot love mammon. And who is mammon? That means money. All right? For the love of money. If you love money, now money is not the evil. Again, people get mad at us when we're like, hey, we need some money, or, get mad at churches. Now, I'm not saying these 501c3 churches and all these people, Catholic Church, that keep asking for money. It's like, we got to push the mission. Yeah, we all need money. I got to have money to keep the lights on. I got to have money to put food on the table for my 3 children. I got to have money to even sit here and be able to talk to you. Right? I need money. But does that mean I love money? No, because if I did, I wouldn't be here doing this for $0. No, and I'm not calling out anybody. I'm just saying, you either love God or you love money. And most of these people that are influencers and doing this stuff online nowadays, like me and Adam are doing, they're just doing it so that they can get money or power, because the money brings power and power usually brings money. Okay, sorry, brother. Let me unmute you.
No, we're good
Sorry,
now.
sorry, I had you muted just because I didn't want to. You had your conversation. Can everyone hear Adam again?
Can
Speak,
you hear
brother.
me, guys? Let us know.
Yep. You should be good. I was just telling them about how Jesus said in Matthew 6, talking about the eye, how Jesus then goes to proceed to say that the light of the body is the eye. Why didn't he say eyes, brother? We have 2 eyes. So what, is he just forgetting one?
That is a great point, yeah.
Because Jesus is Jesus didn't speak a lot, like he spoke a lot, but he was very intentional with everything he said. And guess what? Even when he was being confronted, right? When he was being judged about being God, they're like, do you say you're God? He just didn't answer. He's like, you're the one saying it. Right?
Right.
Like, he's very intentional with the way he speaks and the words that he uses. I mean, he's God. So that's the first thing to understand. God does not mess around. He is not sitting here to just do wordplay and, let's shroud this. Let's shroud Matthew 22 in mystery, Adam. Let's tell people the light of the body is the eye. Ooh, Illuminati. No, he's telling you the eye is the consciousness, because it all starts in the mind.
So,
Everything starts in
yeah,
the mind.
the eye is the lamp of the body in Matthew 6:22. It's the lamp of the body, and it represents one spiritual focus, doesn't it? And then
Yes.
there's the evil eye, which
Yes.
signals jealousy, stinginess. And then there's the apple of the eye, which is illustrating God's protective, cherished care for his people, for his children. So the eye is very important, but it's very interesting how you said it's like the apple of the eye, the evil eye. It's that singular with the eye, which is why they'll cover that one eye.
Yes, and so I was telling people, Jesus is telling you that if your eye is blinded, your spiritual eye, that's what it is. Now, that's why you see in the Hindu religion, they put the dot in the middle of their forehead, right? How many people walk, like when I was a kid, I would go by somebody that was Indian, and I had no understanding of their religion or anything. But they would be like, why do they have this red dot in the middle of their head? I asked my parents, and they're like, oh, that's just part of their culture. See, my parents didn't have any understanding of the dot in the middle of the eye.
You just say that, don't you? It's part of the culture. It's not even a
That's
concept.
how Satan gets you to just accept this stuff. It just is part of the cult.
Yeah, the
Sure.
culture. Yeah.
How do you culture something? You have to grow it. Like, so when a scientist goes into a lab and he wants to understand something deeper or understand the root of something, what does he create? A culture.
Yes.
He takes a culture. Okay. And so I was getting into this where Jesus says the light of the body is the eye, says you can't serve 2 masters. You cannot serve God and mammon. Why didn't he just say you can't serve God and the devil, brother? Why did he say mammon?
That's a great point because people worship it as a god, and
That,
Satan's the one who's obviously controlling the monetary system.
yes. And so as Timothy connects, you cannot serve mammon. So mammon said 4 times in the Bible, only in the New Testament. So you'll never see mammon, because what was the pursuit of the ultimate pursuit for people back in the ancient days before the flood? Sorry, I got you.
Sex.
What's that?
Sex?
Yes, but knowledge.
Yeah, that's a good
Knowledge.
point.
That was the currency. Because again, see, this is, if you read the Bible and you're actually studying the Bible, not just reading, like I read stuff a lot of times, but does that mean it's going through like my mind and processing and I'm actually, contemplating, and I'm like, this is what it means to be a watchman Christ. It means to like take things to a deeper level. See, when I read this verse and I started getting into the Strongs, I'm like, why did God say mammon? What is mammon? Like ultimately, what is like the ancient definition or the Greek definition? Because again, this is all comes from the New Testament. Now, you won't find the word mammon at all in the Old Testament. So
Hmm.
why is Jesus saying something that's new and modern? Right? Because the old ways was the pursuit of knowledge. See, that's the beginning. Because you were living till 900 years old. You didn't care about money. Yes, how much money would we have if we just made a decent wage and lived for 900 years and you were decent at savings? You'd have all the money. You'd have all the money you needed for
You know
anything,
what's being
especially.
pushed now? So obviously there was that pursuit of knowledge and the pursuit of money. I think the thing that they push now, Satan, judging from speaking to people, is the pursuit of happiness. Because I get a lot of people
Very
saying
good.
to me, they just simply say to me, as long as you're happy, as long as we're all happy. I hear it, mate, thousands of times from different people. As long as you're happy, as long as I'm happy. And it's like, it's searching for that pursuit of happiness. But what, he's so wavering in it. Like,
How
I
many
say
rich
it on
people? How
Facebook.
many rich people do we see that end up doing stupid stuff or going into drugs and all these really wicked, evil things, and they have all the money in
Celebrities,
the world?
yeah.
Why? Why? If they're so happy and they can do anything they want, why do they seem depressed?
But that's the thing. So, like, I was saying yesterday, it's like, I went through so many emotions in like the space of an hour yesterday. So you know this. So I turned up to coaching. All right, I was happy. I had a nice drive listening to some music. I like to listen to electro music, which don't really have lyrics. I turned up to coaching. Beautiful, beautiful day. And then I set everything up. I'm all excited to train. And then the kid doesn't turn up 15 minutes late. This kid's never late. So I'm thinking I've just driven to the other side of town. I'm frustrated now. I've spent gas. I'm probably not going to get paid. I don't know what's going on. And I was ready to just clear everything up and drive back home. And then I'm frustrated. I'm angry now. Okay, why didn't anybody tell me? And then the girl turned up, and now I'm happy. Yes, I'm relieved. We had a great session. So it's little moments like that where I went from being angry to happy in 15 minutes. So these emotions, we go through them constantly. And when you're striving for happiness, it only needs one phone call, one text message to take away that happiness. So we should be looking for joy, which comes through what is eternal, through the Word of God, through thinking about heaven and our riches in heaven. So be aware if you're one of those people who are just like, I just want to be happy. I just want to enjoy my life. Life's short. I just want to make the most of it. There's a certain truth to that. But like I said, you only need that one phone call, that one accident where everything changes, which is why you have to focus on what is eternal, which is not your happiness.
Unfortunately, suffering and sacrifice is the true essence of life.
Yes.
Sacrifice. And people don't like hearing that. But right now, what are we sacrificing? Our time,
Time, yep, absolutely.
energy,
And it's so
emotion.
much energy. We have 29 people watching right now. Every day I have to deal with this stuff and 23 likes and next to no support. Yet we keep coming back. I'm here every day. Like,
Just,
it's tiring the energy that you give to this. Like, absolutely life changing info, legit. Not just here talking to entertain or showing a few images with no substance. Legit breaking the matrix every single day and like here for hours for 20 people. It's tiring. It shows you who the real people are, though.
yes, and we appreciate everybody that comes and watches. And again, I believe that what's happening right now, brother, why we're stressed. Hey, you said it in a stream a few streams ago. I believe if you get too big, you put a target on yourself, which brings a lot of unnecessary stress. So there is a thing of being somewhat under the radar because I'm not worried about anybody coming to do anything to me, but we do see these celebrities and people with a lot of power when they start feeling like maybe they start almost saying they grow a conscience. I'm not sure how genuine that is, but you start exposing stuff when you really have high influence. These people that are in power They will ruin you. They can do anything. Just like with, okay, I'm showing Will Smith here, especially in today's world, you don't know what you're watching because now with the progression of AI, all right, here it is. This is the AI just a few short years ago with Will Smith. This is the benchmark, okay? It's weird that Will Smith, okay, is the benchmark for AI and its progression, right? Will Smith is obviously part of a lot of controversial things. He's been in a lot of movies, whether that be dystopian, drama. Some would consider him one of the greatest actors, like one of the great actors that's ever been in our time.
Hmm.
And I won't lie,
Absolutely, yeah.
I've enjoyed a ton of Will Smith movies growing up. Even now, I can enjoy a movie, but nowadays I don't watch movies for enjoyment. I'm actually watching them to learn what the hidden meaning or message is. And some would say, "Oh, that's a waste of time," but it's not because now it just deepens your understanding of things. So, Will Smith, how many people know that he is the benchmark for artificial intelligence? Why? Well, I think there's many reasons why, but it's also interesting that him eating spaghetti. You see, this is where the understanding of these foods and even the symbology of food, right? Food has symbolism, as we've told. How many people right now can name me something that's sexual that's based off of food?
Well, we can go on all day, can't we?
We could go on with tons of examples, right? So see, this is like this is what we mean by the power of symbology in language. It can represent something without even having any words attached. Now, Will Smith eating pasta, look how terrible it looks. I mean, it's still crazy.
Yeah.
This has only been like since what, 2021, 2022, which AI's actually been around for a lot longer. But he's eating pasta, and I'll show you why pasta is the thing because I'm telling you, AI and this whole stuff that again I was once called crazy about with the Jeffrey Epstein, the Pizzagate stuff. This is how the New World Order is coming, folks. The Novus Ordo Seclorum, the ancient ritual that actually brings in the New World Order, and that's the sacrifice of children and sacrifice of mankind,
Yeah.
because that is what Satan wants. He wants blood. Jesus had to shed his blood, and what does Satan want? He wants blood. Okay? And pasta is affiliated with some very dark and evil stuff. So it's funny how AI is going to be used to, like I said, be the benchmark. Well, watch this now. I'm sure how many people knew this. So let's back
Mate,
out.
mate, have you heard of Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Like the movie?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it. Maybe I've seen it.
Well, the whole beginning of the movie, basically, I'll just quickly share my screen.
Yeah, do it.
Anyone in the chat, have you seen this? Bram Stoker's Dracula? They call it a cult classic, right? And the beginning actually looks a lot like Conor McGregor's tattoo. The beginning
Oh
of
wow, it
the
does.
it really does, doesn't it?
It does.
The beginning of the movie, you got a guy who Keanu Reeves is in this movie, by the way, and Winona Ryder, her who's from Stranger Things and Beetlejuice. But you got a guy is in love with a woman, and the woman thinks that he's died, so she takes her own life. And then he's actually not dead, and he sees her dead. He loses his mind, and then he presses this button. He puts this sword actually in like what looked to be some sort of statue, and blood came pouring out of it. And then it became this guy, and then all he would ever say was like, "It's all about the blood. It's all about the blood." And it's like it is. It legit is. When you study the scriptures, it is the blood that cleanses all of our sins. Right? So they're aware of this blood, and like Watchman said earlier, okay, Satan wants blood. Okay, what is shed during wars, for example, blood shed during wars. Okay, he wants your blood. He wants these blood rituals because it comes down to that, and it's the same with vampires. How many movies, bro, about vampires to the point
Uh,
where they have to exist? to some
It,
degree. They have to exist.
and those are the demons or this bloodline, and that's why they're hungry for blood, is because the life is in the blood. Leviticus, right? What is it? The life is in the blood.
Yeah. Do you remember Interview with the Vampire as well?
Oh, that's a crazy movie. Yes,
That's
that is a very
incredible.
crazy
Yeah.
movie. And see, that's how they get you to just believe it's see the greatest deception that came to modern humanity or like culture is fiction and nonfiction. You know, how
Oh
many
yeah,
times
that
as
was the
as a young child were you taken in the library and the librarian walks you around in school and says, "All right, kids, here's the nonfiction section and here's the fiction section."
And what's
Boom.
interesting, it's the other way around, isn't it?
It's it. I was going to say that's how they indoctrinate you from youth with these things. Is they make you say, "Oh, anything about vampires or witches or brooms and all this magic stuff, it's just false. It's just fake. Like it's just the imagination." Right? The imagination. That's why they like say, that's why a lot of people don't want to believe children when they say they're being abused. You know, that's actually really sad to have to say here on stream, is that a lot of people don't believe children when they say that they've been abused, because they say what? The child just has a wild imagination
Oh, attention seeking.
or they're attention seeking. It's very, very,
And that's
very.
what they say about us. Like at the beginning of my work, it was always like, Adam, you're such an attention seeker. No, I'm trying to bring attention to the evil. I
Yes.
don't want
And
the attention myself. I want
no.
to bring attention to the evil, like what we're doing here.
And we're trying to bring attention to where the life and where the life force is in Leviticus 17, 11 through 14. For the life of the flesh is in the blood. I
Yes.
have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls, for it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul.
Amen.
Therefore I say unto the children of Israel, so God is he's trying to tell them, no soul of yours shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. And whosoever man there be of the children of Israel, or the strangers that sojourn among you, which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he shall even pour out the blood thereof and cover it with dust. For it is the life of all flesh, the blood of it is for the life. Therefore I say unto you, the children of Israel, you shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off.
Wow.
This is a direct. So as you were talking about vampires, where's a vampire? What is Satan now created? He's created an identity or a figure like Dracula that drinks blood, literally lives off of human blood or even animal blood. It's saying here, you can't drink the blood of animals or the blood of humans.
Why
Jesus
do you
is
think
straight up saying that
they have to?
cannibalism is not okay right here.
And it's
So see, when
legal in many states. Like in the Old Testament, they sacrificed animals. It was the blood, wasn't it?
yes, it was
It was
always the
because the life force resides in the blood.
what
So
the
it's
heck?
it's actually sacred. It's sacred.
Because
And
what does blood contain, brother?
go on.
The DNA.
The DNA, yeah, that's
The DNA, okay, and the DNA is coded,
and
right?
I did that stream about sinners.
Oh yeah, some people were saying they just watched it and stuff. I actually haven't
Yeah, no,
watched it yet.
I watched it because I wanted to break it down. I have
Yep.
no idea how it won an Oscar, but anyways,
I don't know. A lot of these movies win Oscars.
yeah. So there's these twin brothers, both played by Michael B. Jordan, and one of them gets bit by a vampire. And what's strange about this is it took a bit of time for him to turn, but for a while they can present themselves as the old self. So, for example, say I got bit, right, and I'm now this demonic vampire. I could come up to you and speak exactly the way I'm speaking now to you. Hey, Dustin, how you doing, brother? Let me come in your house. Let's plan a live stream for this Friday. How does that sound? I speak just like that. So you're like, okay, he's not been bit. And then I can come in, I gain your trust, and then I can bite you and take your blood. But the interesting thing is, it's Sinners, right? The show's called Sinners.
I've got it pulled
And
up
the
too on the
word
screen.
atonement, it implies covering guilt, yeah? Because
Wow.
brings death. The wages of sin is death, right? But the blood represents life, and the gift of eternal life is through Christ, who what? He shed his blood.
That's right.
And he shed the blood to cover the sin and substitute for the sinner's life. All right? But when you go watch that Sinners movie, how they see it is once you've been bit, you'll live forever. You know, they always talk about living forever. They live forever. It's not with Christ, it's not in heaven, all right? But they can like stay forever young. But obviously, what can't they see? What can't they tolerate? The light, all right? The sun.
And see, that goes back to the one eye. That's why they cover one of their eyes, is because their bodies are full of darkness. They have covered or shrouded themselves in the sin.
Yep, exactly. They've chosen sin over salvation. And
Yes.
I ultimately believe at this point that many of these people are vampires.
And what he means by that is they drink blood because blood
Yeah.
has life and power in it.
Yep.
As we're showing you, as I'm sitting here showing you. So why we're talking again, this is totally unscripted. We're going off what the Holy Spirit wants to reveal, and we're trying to reveal to you that society really loves pushing the drinking of blood, which we just showed you that God is completely against, and death. Because usually when somebody's bitten by a vampire, or if they don't want to turn them, they suck the blood from them. Like, because remember in all these like vampire movies, like this one right here with Tom Cruise, the Vampire Diaries, you have to do a certain ritual to turn somebody into a vampire in the movies, right? You can't
Yep.
just like bite them and then they turn. That's how like they portray it, is that a ritual must like take place after they're bitten. But if you're just simply trying to feed, you go and you drain their blood, right?
Yep.
So I was actually looking, and what's funny is you were talking about sinners. I was just looking at all the famous vampire movies. 40. Oh, interesting. 40. There's 40. Again, it's not that these guys are saying, but it's just funny that 40,
Satan
40.
tempted Jesus 40 days and 40
That's
nights.
right. The world was judged. The flood happened for 40 days and 40 nights. 40 is such a significant number in the Bible. And that's why we're trying to bring you the symbolism, the numbers, because the Bible is telling you symbols and numbers. See, when I told Adam, I was like, the Bible creates the imagery.
Amen.
They take
Absolutely.
these numbers and they then create the images off the numbers. They take the imagery of the drinking of blood and they create images and film off of the drinking of blood.
What about how Satan will like um give power to the image of the beast?
Yes, see, you have to feed, like again, back to sacrifice and feeding. What does Jesus say? He says, "I come to feed my sheep." What did Jesus do when all of the people were gathered? He fed them, right? He says he wants to feed us. We need food. That's
And
why
we
that's
feed
why I think people like continue to associate what happened in the garden with fruit, is because it's like the most basic part of the fundamental of the human experience is eating.
we feed the beast system, don't we?
Yes, we do, by watching these
Every
movies
day.
and participating in these things and giving our energy. Brother, we were just talking about the United States and the Venezuela game, which what a joke. What a joke. If you still don't think that sports are rigged
Oh, exactly.
after that junk, then I don't know what to tell you. There ain't no way a team that's from Venezuela that doesn't have nearly the resources, nearly the power, nearly the recruitment or money or power. There's a reason that people from Venezuela, Cuba, and all these other third world countries go to America to play ball.
And I said that they call it the World Series, don't they?
World Series, yes. Because
And
it's all about uniting the world under this one order, right? And it's order out of chaos. And what does sports bring? They bring chaos. I'm
they
sorry.
do.
They bring a lot of emotion. They bring chaos within own house. How many people have gotten in a fight with somebody because of simply wearing a different jersey team? Like a
People
team's
have killed.
jersey.
People have killed people for it.
That's what I'm saying. People have literally murdered, shed blood because you're not the same fan of a sports team. You guys, it's energy harvesting. And look, there's a movie right here I'm looking at, Vampire 1932. Oh, this is just modern. All this stuff is just modern. No,
Nope.
it's begun with the film industry. Look at 98%. Rotten Tomatoes. Funny how rotten. You shall know them by their fruit. And the most popular way to judge movies or to see what critics think is through a website called Rotten Tomatoes. And what is usually read? And you know how they usually portray blood in movies and stuff? Ketchup or like these types of things that are red substances. A lot of it's ketchup. Like remember in the movie Dumb and Dumber when he pretends to cut himself on the neck and he takes a packet of ketchup and squirts it all over his neck, right? It's to create the illusion. So see, it's almost funny that Rotten Tomatoes is one of the most powerful ways to like see, oh, I'm not gonna go see a movie until I see the Rotten Tomatoes review. And ye shall know them by their fruit, Jesus said. Would you say that all this fruit is good or rotten, brother?
Absolutely rotten, mate.
Yeah, I'd say almost everything in Hollywood. Now that doesn't, I do now, just like Adam said earlier, maybe there are some people that make it in the business. They grew up in the family. They were indoctrinated as children. That's why you have to have grace on these people too. Like, we're not trying to sit here and condemn these people and just say, oh yeah, they're like walking, we're all sinners. Like, so at the end of the day, the person that made Vampire, the person that made Sinners, yes, they may worship Satan, but guess what? They deserve the same punishment as you who has sin.
Yes.
So that's what you must also understand as being a child of God and understand from understanding the scriptures is that all of us have fallen, right? We are all sinners that deserve the same punishment. So whether you're making these movies, participating in these movies, whatever, all have fallen short of the glory of God. And I think Christians sometimes forget that, especially in modern day. They're like, oh, I don't sin. I don't do this. I follow the 10 Commandments. I'm sorry. No, you don't. By just being online, by being online or owning a cell phone, I'm pretty sure you're going against the will of God. Now, I don't mean that like, oh, look at you, you're demonic because you have a phone. I'm just saying how much has life actually been ruined from all the technology and the implementation of social media and how much we're all consumed by the matrix, which I call the phone.
That's why we call consumers.
Exactly. Okay, because it consumes. The beast consumes. Satan is all about consuming. Jesus is all about giving.
Is 2 hours?
What's that?
Would you say the average movie lasts 2 hours?
Yeah, or 1 hour and 45 minutes.
1 hour 45.
I'd say that's the most average runtime for most movies is 1 hour and 45 minutes. If it's a really good movie, it's usually 2 because they get into plenty of topics. And then you have some movies which they cannot tell a story in even one part, 2+ hours. 3, they need multiple parts. So see, this is why God needed to give us a decent sized book, but you don't need that much to eventually get it. So as I'm sitting here showing you,
how many movies do you think you've watched?
Me? Oh man, too many. It's a bit.
Okay, now
it's a bit ridiculous because that was like I grew up. We didn't grow up poor. I didn't grow up poor. We always had enough money, but we didn't have a lot of money. And so my family, the way we bonded and the way we like had family nights was my parents would make homemade popcorn, not that crap you put in the microwave, which is completely terrible for you. And I loved it still, I'm not judging you, but making your own popcorn on the stove and then buttering it and salting it, that was the whole experience, watching my mom make pans and pans of it. And in Idaho, I grew up in Idaho, there wasn't a lot to do, right? So Idaho's a pretty, I'd say they're still pretty far behind in society when it comes to like, I moved to Oregon when I was like 10 years old. My parents got jobs up here in Oregon and it was like a massive culture shock because I was just like not exposed to a lot of stuff. But what we did was we went to the drive-in and we watched movies. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what a lot of families and people bond over. I mean, when you're going out on a date with a girl or somebody that you really are interested in, what's usually the first place that you go?
Movies.
To the movies, right? So that's why it's important.
What I was going to ask you is, so I've watched a lot of movies as well.
What's that?
I was looking at movies going up. I don't know how many I've watched, but it's definitely a few hundred.
Oh so, yeah, we've all watched a lot of them, but some more than others. I've definitely have more than others.
For hundreds of hours, yeah?
Yeah.
I wonder how many people have spent hundreds of hours reading the Bible. Let alone an hour, let alone an hour of their entire life. Do you know what I mean? I've spent hundreds upon hundreds of hours watching movies, watching sports, playing sports, whatever it may be, studying for exams. Obviously, thankfully for me, I've now spent hundreds of hours in the Bible. But in general, one movie, let's say 1 hour 45 minutes. I wonder how many people walking this earth right now have spent longer than 1 hour 45 minutes ever in the Word of God. Think about that.
I mean, I know I have, because this is all I'd like to do. Because once you understand and unlock the veil, right, and you understand what's happening, and you put the puzzle, like, you're never going to be able to sing. Like, there's stuff that I learn from Adam every day, doing this as long as I have, and there's plenty of stuff that people in the chat have said. You know, we're all learning from each other, because again, while it's not what we should be chasing, you know, every single day, knowledge, there is something to that saying, knowledge is power.
And my people will perish for lack of knowledge.
See, there it is. And so this is why Satan's trying to give all this hidden esoteric knowledge. That's why we say occult means hidden. It doesn't, when people say, oh, they're part of the occult, that no, you can't be a part of the occult, because occult isn't anything but just, it means hidden. So when you see somebody that's part of the occult, what they're actually a part of is something that's being hidden from the masses, which is ultimately Freemasonry. See, when people call you conspiracy theorists, when you expose Freemasonry, they're just being ignorant, because this isn't conspiracy. I can go to Google Earth, I can go to Google Maps right now and type in Freemasonic Lodge, and I can guarantee you I'll find 50 lodges within like a 50-mile radius. I could literally take my camera right now, drive down the street to a Masonic lodge that's literally in my town. How many of you drive past that Masonic temple or that Masonic town all the time, or that town that was built upon Freemasonry? Because I pulled this image up, because this is what Freemasonry does to the public, and this is why we have two tiers of true government, there's almost like with the Masons, they truly believe that you're an idiot. No offense. Like, this is why they have their brotherhood, and you can't just join. Like, yes, anybody can join, but there are stipulations, there are requirements. Like, you can't be an atheist. You know who a Mason thinks, or somebody that worships Satan at the highest degree. You know, you find out that Masonry is also shrouded in mystery to their own members, because the more people that you have that are a part of this organization that don't know what's actually happening at the very top. See, that's why it's a pyramid structure. Then it's easy to just call people like us crazy, because then you have Masons. I'm sure there'll be Masons that watch us and go, oh, you're talking about, I've literally had Masons. I know people that personally in my life that are Masons, and I tell them about Albert Pike, and they're like, oh, he was just a bad apple. I don't even know who he is. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're the worst Freemason ever if you don't know who Albert Pike is.
It's like saying you're Christian and not knowing like who Moses is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy how these people can say they know their own fraternity, yet they have no idea. Because guess what? They just want to be a part of a brotherhood. We're all trying to be a part of a family. And that's what Freemasonry offers to the public and to a lot of men, especially in modern times, where you see, oh, okay, I can become a Freemason, and a lot of powerful people. Well, let's look, okay? I'm going to read the creed.
Yeah.
And so somebody that's on this pursuit of knowledge, right? Or this pursuit of, I want to be something in life. I want to make a name for myself, right? Because that's what they tell you as a kid. What are you going to do for a career? What are you going to do when you grow up?
It's all about you, isn't it?
It is. It's all about you. It's all about self glorification and how you can make an impact, instead of, oh, how can God use me to make an impact, right?
Yeah.
So here's the creed. Conceal each other's crimes, right? So if you do something in the secret or in the shroud of darkness, you don't reveal that to the inept or to the people that are not initiated, because they don't understand what society, like murdering somebody, is a crime. To them, it's sacrifice for power and for knowledge and wealth.
Yep.
So they're not going to conceal that to the public. right? But they might make a movie about it and then say, "Oh, look, see, like the movie Him, or even like the movie Sinners. Haha, we'll pretend to kill people and sacrifice them, but then we'll tell them it's fiction. Haha." Two, deliver each other from difficulty, regardless of right or wrong. You wonder why a lot of these predators or people don't get persecuted in the judicial system. Oh, we have such a great judicial system here in America. We have the three branches of government, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff to keep people checks and balances. How they teach all this BS in school. Checks and balances, checks and balances. Yeah, how much checks and balances are we seeing with the old Mr. Trumpy right now? I haven't seen one congressional hearing over doing anything he's doing. He just signs the paper and it's done. And that's how most of these people are. These judges. Guess what? If a judge finds out that you're a Freemason and all they need, okay, they get the how the judge sits up there in the court and says, I'm going to judge this person, and then they get a piece of paper saying this person's a 32nd degree Freemason or a 33rd Mason. That judge, if he's a Mason, he is obligated. He is obligated as the Mason that he is, that is shrouding the crime, hiding the crimes. He will not persecute them, or he will give them a slap on the wrist, like old Jeffrey Epstein when he was convicted. Why do you think he got such a light term? Because he was one of the initiated. He was one of the people, the movers and shakers. He got caught by people like us, because that's the thing, is the devil can't hide. Like, he's trying to hide and all the time, but he can't hide. So you have an unduly favored masonry in political action, business matters. You're bound by death to oath. So that's that vow of silence. That's the vows that you take. We can, you could read in the books that own their own text. You literally take a vow that if you reveal any of the secrets that are given to you in the lodge, that you will literally cut your throat and you will literally rip out your heart. Like they have some pretty crazy stuff that they make you agree to if you become a brother, because they believe that this is a special thing, a special privilege, right? Yeah. So you pay your dues, you donate. So that's why they say, see, Masons, like the lower level Masons, they're not worshiping Satan, because I worship Jesus Christ. I've had literally Mason friends tell me they're not a satanic cult, Dustin. They worship Jesus. I'm like, no, they don't. Hey, they don't.
The locker room leader in WWE was the Undertaker, which is all about death, yeah?
Yes.
And in wrestling, something that they pride themselves upon heavily is whether or not that wrestler paid their dues.
Paid your dues. Oh, and that reminds me of the song by Blue Oyster Cult. I'm burning, I'm burning, I'm burning for you. I know. And they say, I paid the devil his dues.
Yeah, the dues. So it's interesting. You got to pay your dues. They say that. They can do that within organizations and businesses as well. To get that promotion, you got to pay your dues. But they do it in wrestling. And Undertaker overseed it. It's why they would kick wrestlers out of the changing room and said, you didn't pay your dues on the indies or whatever. You just came straight to the top.
There it is. I'm burning for you. Burn out the day, burn out the night. I can't see no reason to put up for a fight. I'm living for giving the devil his due.
Wow.
And look at this symbol. See, people say, the Blue Oyster Cult, what an amazing band. They don't worship Satan. Yet they just said they're giving Satan his dues. Look there's the Egyptian symbology. There's the Anak, okay? There's the cross, and it's upside down. It's almost a question mark too, right? It looks like a question mark, because what do they want you to do? They want you to question who you are. They want you to question who created you. They want you to question God. Because what was Satan doing? He was questioning God and his plan for humanity. What? You're going to make humans? You're going to make them from the dust of the earth, and we will be lower than the humans? Right? Because ultimately, what does the Bible say? It says we will judge the angels. Because the angels, while they were created in a hierarchy, a higher place in the realm of God, they were not made in the image of God. Very key to understanding with all of this and why Satan did what he did. He hates humans. That is why the Bible teaches that hell was created for who? I love when somebody comes to me, if God is so loving, why does he send people to hell? Why does God send people to hell, Dustin? Wouldn't he want everybody to be saved? Wouldn't he want people to not go to hell? Yeah, that's why he said, John 3:16, the most famous verse in the world, even if you're not a Christian, for God so sent his son into the world to what? To save the world so that no one would be condemned. Yet here in the Bible, you tell somebody that's not a Christian or somebody that hates God because, oh, he sends people to hell, or, oh, if I don't believe in God, I'm going to hell. What kind of God is that? Well, it's a God that told you, well, if you go to hell, it's because you chose it, because you chose death. You chose death over life. Jesus said, I am the life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am not the way, the truth, and death. But in Matthew 25:41, God says, then shall he say unto them on the left hand. So see, there's that hidden hand, right? Because one of the hands, and that goes back to Matthew 6, let not your left hand know what your right hand does. Here we go. See how it all connects? But when thou doest alms, that means do work or do things in society, whatever that may be. But when thou doest an alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand do. You see how it's all connected, you guys? And then back to it. Let them on the left hand depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.
And have you noticed when like vampires actually die, they go on fire?
Yes, they burn up and they turn into ash. And when a nation was repentant of their sin, like when Jonah came to the city of Nineveh, Jesus or God sent him. They did what? They put ash and sackcloths on to show they are dead to their sin. They want to be redeemed by the Lord, right? They do not want to burn and die in their sin, because who brought sin into the world? Not man, the devil. And it says right here, so when somebody tells you, why is God sending people to hell? You say, God isn't sending people to hell. I'll tell you right now, I can confidently 100% tell you, Jesus Christ has never sent one person to hell.
No.
Not one. Because it's a choice. It is a choice. Just like the light of the body. You either choose to be single, you either choose God, or you choose mammon. You choose the world. You choose the devil. There is no in between. There is no saying, I didn't know. And God will have grace.
It's like getting drunk, isn't it? Like, it's like getting drunk out of your mind and then saying, well, God wanted me to be drunk because he allowed me to get drunk.
Exactly. It's like, oh, I did this. I got fat because the food is, thing and that. Like, we get fat because we have no self-discipline. You get fat because you stop exercising. You get fat because you're not being conscious about the choices that you're making. You're getting fat because you don't understand the knowledge behind what's in your food or how our bodies work.
Yeah.
Right? This is why. So here it is. This is the image of Fallout Boy. As we're saying, the hell is prepared for the devil and his angels. Now, do these look like angels? I don't know. At this point, like I said, when you do this research, maybe these cults and these people that are in Hollywood and that get famous and get risen up to the top, the stars, here it is, the stars, right? And Jesus and Satan is represented by the stars, right? We got Revelation. The dragon was cast out of heaven and took a third of the angels, which are represented by stars. These people are giving their honor and homage to Satan. So they are choosing, you see? Nobody woke up and made this guy put on a shirt from Fallout Boy that has the satanic symbol that says dead guy. Yeah. Nobody forced him to get up and do this. Maybe that's part of your contract. Again, this is why you don't sign contracts and you don't agree to do stuff that you don't have the knowledge of. If these guys actually knew the Bible, would they be wearing shirts that are giving homage to Satan?
But what if me and you right now are doing a live stream with a Satanic Temple T-shirt on?
That's what I'm saying. How could people take us serious?
You shouldn't. You
should. Yeah, you shouldn't take me serious. You shouldn't. And look at Fallout Boy. See, they get their symbols from the ancient mystery schools. That's how you get the art. See, Fallout Boy, a crown with the gap. I was telling you about the gap. Why? Why do they have this symbology of the Novus Ordo Seclorum, New Old Order, the one eye, all right? The Antichrist, who's trying to be king of the world, right? He's going to get his time. But see, there's the gap. Satan is trying to bridge the gap through consciousness, through your choice, through your moral obligation to choose. Fallout Boy, the capstone, there it is with the triangle. FOB, Fallout Boy, that is their symbol. I mean, how many different symbols could you have used for your band, but you choose a crown with the floating capstone, right?
Yeah, I've actually seen them. I've seen them live. This is again like back in my day. I didn't know anything about symbolism.
They have some crazy videos too. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I didn't focus on them, but they had some really catchy songs, didn't they?
I've listened to plenty of fall. Dance, dance, the sheet
Yeah.
dance, dance.
And I think the lead singer did that. Take a look at my girlfriend. That was such a catchy song. He did the chorus for that. But yeah, I didn't know about Baphomet at that time. I didn't know about Sell the Soul for Rock and Roll and all of that. And that's the average person because I had what? I had a lack of knowledge. I was just caught up in what I enjoyed.
Exactly. It's just a lack of knowledge, guys. And that's why we're trying to expose this. We're not focusing on the devil. We're focusing on what the devil brings to you in society and then just waters down as something. Somebody in the chat, like I said, we're trying to be involved with you, what you guys want to understand. Coincider said, hey, Watchman, check out the Hiram key. Well, here it is. Hiram. Well, when I see Hiram, I immediately see Ram. Okay. The ram. What does the ram represent in the Bible?
Go on.
My brother, it represents Abraham's obedience
The
to God.
and the
The sacrifice. Yes, the sacrifice. Again, back to what is the key? What is the key? Sacrifice.
Yeah, and what's the most loving act ever performed on earth? The sacrifice of Christ on the cross.
The Hiram key. And so then I see Hiram, I see that name, and I think of Hiram Abiff, which is a master. Or Hiram Abiff was the guy that helped Solomon build the first temple.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
So see, this is why. Thank you again. If you guys got something in the chat you want us to cover, see, this is the thing. When you have the knowledge and the understanding of the symbols, the language, now you can see the Hiram key and see how I haven't even looked into what, necessarily the depth of it. I'm just showing you what I see immediately. I see the compass in the square. I see the Christian symbol.
Bro, Christopher Knight, Christ, yes. Like the Knights Templar.
Yes, the Knights Templar. You got Christ in it.
Wow.
I mean, this is there's so much jam packed in just this. Pharaohs, Freemasons, and the discovery of the secret scrolls of Jesus.
We have to remind people as well that somebody like Christopher Knight, it won't be his birth name. They do change their names because
it's called called a pen name.
With Christopher Knight, it'll be a Knights Templar, all right, and in his own mind, he'll be Christ-like.
Yes. So you see, these people too write these books. Now I don't know what the context of coincide. Again, this is people trying to connect and universalize Jesus Christ with all these ancient religions and all these symbols and say, see, these symbols are older than Christ. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, Jesus was sacrificed on the cross because that was him. The cross represents life. Life is the crossroads, right? And it says it's the paths. You have up, which is to heaven with God. You have down, which is with Satan and his fallen angels. You have the left path, which we just read in the Bible. Them on the left path will suffer in the fire with the devil and angels. And you have the right path. So it's yes or no.
And what about this? With vampires as well, if you want to bring it up, what do they put through their heart? It's a cross-shaped wooden stake.
Yes, through the heart.
Shaped, and they put it through the heart. So yeah, because wooden stakes represent life and purity, while the cross symbol holds obviously that great religious significance aimed at driving out evil. Because what Jesus did on the cross overcame evil, didn't it?
Exactly, yes. And God says that he will judge the heart. He says to not follow your heart. So when you understand knowledge, and that's why a lot of these things you need to test. You can't just see something and be like, oh, that's truth.
Yeah, it says test the spirits, doesn't it?
Test the spirit and test what you think your heart is telling you. Because see, that's what Satan wants you to do, is follow your heart. Because what does it say? Even in the Bible, back to Matthew 6 is like, It's such a revealing chapter because it's all the words of Jesus Christ. But again, lay up your treasures because your treasure is where your heart will be,
Yeah,
right?
bro. Just for a moment now, just type in King Charles vampire.
King Charles Vampire, yes.
Yeah, because it connects to Vlad the Impaler, like, and that's why they always talk about the bloodlines, the royal bloodline.
Bloodline, bloodline,
Yeah,
yes.
just read out what it says. This is not a conspiracy. Just type in King Charles vampire. He admits
Town,
it. He said it himself.
Town and Country Magazine felt like it's a
Yeah,
fairly,
just give it a little read.
yeah. King Charles once revealed his family ties to Vlad the Impaler, inspired by the name of Bram Stoker's literary vampire, Count Dracula. They're telling you. Actor Luke Evans revealed in his new memoir that King Charles once told him that the monarch is related to Vlad the Impaler, a 15th century Romanian ruler who inspired the legend of Count Dracula in Bram Stoker's 1897 novel Boy from the Valleys, My Unexpected Journey, which was initially published in the UK last year but was released in the US in 2005. Evans described meeting the monarch at the Prince's Trust gala dinner at the Savoy Hotel in London in 2014, shortly after finishing the work on the action horror film Dracula Untold, in which he played Vlad. You see, so why are these actors and people that are just low level, like, I'm sorry, King Charles should have nothing to do with actors. He's way above them. But yet we have Luke Evans, an actor, somehow meeting and shaking hands with,
Plus, they're vampires, man. Like and
royal bloodlines.
the principalities, the prince.
And okay, they don't have. And when you see when you see him shaking hands, make sure you look closely. Okay, I don't see. Oh, he's got the lion's grip part. Actually, he does. Okay, look. If I can't zoom in anymore, but do you see he's got his two fingers around the wrist of King Charles of Charles?
Yes.
Okay, that's called the lion's paw. Okay, and now I'm gonna pull up a photo that I just found. Look they have secret handshakes. You guys, I was in a fraternity. This is what brought me all into this type of lifestyle, was literally me joining a fraternity and literally being initiated into a brotherhood. You guys, I got inside of a coffin. I ain't joking about it. Did I know what I was doing? No, I had no idea because it was just a bunch of my friends, my football players that I played high school in football. They were recruiting me. That's what they call it rushing, okay? When you recruit all these lower level people, these people that aren't in the fraternity, to become brothers. That's how they get you into Freemasonry and all these bigger type of organizations later in life, is they start with the school and the cults in the youth. Because if you control the youth, you control all of humanity. Because if you can indoctrinate the masses at the beginning stages of life, then they'll never understand the truth. So see, you have secret handshakes. You have the building. They are building something. You have the flame with the wings, the fallen angels, the worship of the sun, Baal. We're finding out a lot that these celebrities, through the Jeffrey Epstein files, Baal, as Adam was talking about, driving a sword through the heart, right? The sword and the stone. That's a famous movie, right? The Sword and the Stone, right? To pull the sword. Because the sword is what? The sword represents the word. So when you see a knight being knighted by the sword, he is being knighted by the word or the decree.
Pierce is like a two-edged sword.
Yes, pierces. Because when Jesus comes back, he's not going to be holding a physical sword. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's the word.
Yeah, the sword comes out of his mouth.
The sword comes out of his mouth. Exactly. Okay. That is how he destroys the new order that's coming. And how do we know it's coming? Well, I don't know, because they've been telling you in newspaper articles for all these years. Brown and Cameron outline reveal Green's visions, right? It's kind of blurry on the screen. A new world order to save the earth. A new world order. How many presidents have said new world order, new world order? Novus Ordo Seclorum. Right? And see, this is why people think America's so awesome, is because these builders built up this society built on freedom. So see, freedom really is a great, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not blessed to live in America. What I'm telling you, though, is that if you don't understand the true root and the foundation that it was built upon, which is masonry, okay, everyone, Trump says it. How many patriots say it? People they say George Washington was probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest president ever, being the first. The Revolutionary War, revolution, right?
Didn't Trump call Charlie Kirk a master builder?
A master. Yes, he has a book. I'm pretty sure Trump has a book called Master Builder. I'll try
Do
to
you know
find it.
about the Bilderberg group as
The
well?
builders, the builders. Because what were they trying to do in Babylon?
They build a
Build a tower.
uh,
That's right. It goes back to Nimrod. Okay.
yeah,
Back
Babylon.
to the Bible, Genesis 10. See, this is why it's so important to study Genesis. Genesis will unlock so many mysteries because you have to understand that this is ancient. This isn't new. When they call it a new world order, it's not really new. It's just the truth. Genesis 10, 8 through 12. Cush begat Nimrod, and he began to be a mighty one in the earth. And he was a mighty hunter before the Lord. What is a vampire, brother?
Well, they hunt for blood, don't they?
That's right. They hunt. And what are you hunting an animal for? And how do you kill? It's to kill.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
hunter,
You take the
something,
life force, you got to get their blood.
that's right. Something, if you want to be a hunter, you must be ready to kill,
Bro, it's just
right?
come up on my Twitter feed. You probably already know this. Chuck Norris has died.
I know somebody said that. And again, there's something always happening. We can go into Chuck Norris. Obviously, I woke up and had no idea about Chuck Norris.
It says that he was a devout Christian. Rest in peace, legend. So it's again, was he a devout Christian when the
Oh,
world?
let's just, okay, I guess let's branch down. This is how easy it is. Okay, look, completely unscripted, completely. We have absolutely no idea what we were going to talk about with Chuck Norris today, but I'll just go, okay, Chuck Norris filmography. This is how you research. This is how you be a watchman in Christ. You watch what these people do. That's what you're doing every day. You're watching. You watch the clock. You watch the time. You know, you're always watching. It just depends on if you're paying attention,
Yeah, there
right?
you go. Exactly. Yeah.
We're always paying attention to something or watching something. If you're, this is why you need to get on your knees and thank God that we have eyes that can see, because if you are always in the dark, if I was sitting here trying to explain to you the Eye of Horus, you would have absolutely no idea or comprehension. I mean, even somebody that's blind right now, how can they understand what a dog really looks like? You tell them what a dog looks like. You can describe it. You can sit there and give every single characteristic of a dog. Yes, they can hear that they bark. Yes, they can hear that they growl. They can do this. But how would they ever know what a dog looks like?
They can.
They can't. So that's why Jesus said, back to the Bible, right? Let the blind, let the blind lead the blind.
Yeah.
Or people that follow blind people will be blinded and they will stumble, right? Matthew is so revealing too. That's why I believe it's the first book of the New Testament. God wanted to really hammer home the depth of things. Now, every book in the Bible is great and will give you into understanding knowledge. I truly believe that he chose Matthew to give such a beautiful story because Matthew was a tax collector, right, for Rome. And back in the day, if you were a tax collector, like nowadays, you can kind of fudge numbers and we all work off the credit system and this crazy, weird monetary system where money never even when you file your taxes, okay, here, input how much money you made this year. I made 15,072 cents. Screw the extra 30 cents. We're just going to round up the numbers. What? How are you getting legitimate numbers when you're rounding up numbers with money?
You
Right?
can't do that in a mathematics exam, can you?
No, no, you can't. You can't be given true numbers.
Well, imagine it was like he said, "But what's 9 times 8?" And you put 70, but it's 72, and they go, "Well, we'll round it up."
That's what I'm saying. You can't just do that, and so that's why numbers are important. And this is why I believe that Matthew was chosen because. Do you think there was rounding up numbers in the old tax collecting days with Rome, brother?
No.
Hey Matthew, how much money did you get from all the people today? Well, I only got $70 from the Jewish people for their tax collection. Well, you owe us 75. Well, I made 74. So can we round up a number? There was no rounding up or down. You better have had every single penny accounted for, or it was going to be your ass. You
Yep.
think Matthew, and this is why the Jews hated Matthew. They're like, you're a sellout. You work for for the people that oppress us. And Matthew's like, this is just my job. I'm sorry if you, and this is like with us. This is just our job. We're here to expose darkness. That's what a watchman also does. A watchman exposes not just the good, but also the dark. Jesus told us about the light and the dark. I mean, it just is the way life is. You can't understand one without the other. But here in Matthew, see, it says, let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch. Brother, if we were both going like, hey, we're going to go on an amazing hike today. And we're going to go into this cave. Hey, Adam, go in there and tell me what's in the cave, this dark cave. Would you go in there and just start walking around?
No, would you go in a car that was driven by a blind man?
No, because essentially then, no matter what you say, hey, stop. Well, why am I stopping? There's a stop sign right there to the blind person. What do you
But
mean?
brother, we live in a world of equality. If that person's a human, should it really matter if they're blind and driving you? Show a bit of respect.
Well, Jesus then is not being very respectful because he says if you follow a blind person or you want to trust their intuition more than you that have eyes, you will fall into the ditch too because you made that choice. That's why it says be careful. This is why they do the one eye covering, you guys. Why? Because they are walking in darkness. The light of the body is the eye. They are leading you. They just walk around in Hollywood with shirts that have 666 on them. Okay, is it great to follow this person? Wow, such an idol. This chick, she's been in so many movies. Wow.
The dude, anyway. They're all
Yeah,
involved.
most of them are inverted. Okay, back to Chuck Norris real fast, but I just want to see you. So, the blind lead the blind. Everyone's today, Chuck Norris is in heaven. He was such a great actor. Oh, he was such a great person. He made such an impact.
Isn't that hilarious, though, when they say he was such a great actor and you say that actor means hypocrite? So you're saying he's such a great hypocrite, is what we're
Yeah,
saying.
it's hilarious. Okay, Wikipedia, not me. All right. When somebody looks up Chuck Norris today, what was Chuck Norris? Oh yeah, who was he? I don't know who he was. Chuck Norris was an American actor and martial artist. Martial, like martial law, like a marshal is somebody in the military, right? You see wordplay here. He's an artist, a martial artist, a person that works for an army, right? Wouldn't you say that people that are in Hollywood are almost like an army of people working for the same agendas?
Yeah, and
That's
he
why I
was
say you can't just get in.
the way of the dragon for
That's
Satan.
right. He appeared in the number of action films such as The Way of the Dragon. Oh, what a Christian
And
thing
you
to
know,
do to be a part of a film that gives homage and praise to dragon worship. Well, where do we see the dragon?
brother, the Welsh flag and Chuck is short for Charlie, or Charlie and Chuck. They connect. So Chuck Norris, the dragon, Prince Charles, Prince of Wales, Red Dragon, Satan. We just talked about Charles being a vampire, and he died at 86. Just type in Revelation 8:6.
Yes,
I know
sir.
this is the year I was born. He died at 86. Things are heating up. The world has no idea, unfortunately. But yeah, Christ is coming, guys, as is the beast system, the Antichrist, and just so many people dying in the last year or so.
And
Major.
like you said, a huge inflection of seeing people that are Christians because I believe whatever happens, this is how they're going to deceive people to take the mark because they don't understand that this is
No way.
shrouded.
No, this was genuine in his face.
Yeah, they think it's genuine. Revelation 8:6. And the seven angels, which had seven trumpets, prepared themselves to sound. See, God is all about numbers. He's telling you there's seven angels that
Yeah.
have seven trumpets.
Yeah.
Right? Right? All right. So we show you the Welsh. We show you that. Chuck Norris, The Way of the Dragon. Start along Bruce Lee. Okay. Bruce Lee was oddly murdered or killed along with his son. I don't know why this does this all the time, man. I don't know if it times out, but
Well, his son supposedly shot himself on the set of the movie The Crow.
Well, he didn't shoot himself. It was a bullet. So supposedly, because they on movie sets they use real guns, but they use fake bullets
Yeah, but this
sometimes.
bullet.
And so somebody didn't like properly load, and so he was supposedly accidentally murdered.
Yeah,
But isn't that weird that the movie The Crow, which is Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee,
brand. Yeah, like a Mac.
yeah, The Crow, is all about birth, death, sacrifice, and resurrection.
And that's all Freemasonry focus on. And obviously, the Crow was black and white, wasn't he?
Yes, and the crow represents death, right? And then it's like the blackbird, and the blackbird, when I think of a blackbird or them using blackbirds, it's usually a representation of death, right? What's the first bird that Noah sent out to see if there was land? A raven.
It was a raven, yeah.
It was a raven. But then the second time he sent out a bird, it was what?
A dove.
The dove. Okay. See, there's the duality right there of even the 40 days and the 40 nights of flood. All right. Death is upon the earth. God has flooded the earth, right? And he's trying to bring back life. He's trying to, he continued life through Noah. Why? Not because he was a perfect man. Noah deserved to die in that flood too with all of his sons. God could have just straight up done a just total reset and remade a new Adam in his image.
Do you remember Evanescence?
Evanescence, of course, that band.
Yeah, but
Wake me up.
that was like, bring me back to life.
Yes,
It says, wake me up.
wake me up. Wake me up
Save me.
inside. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was I love that song. And
Oh, I think everybody did because it was again pushed in society, pushed in so many things. See, when something hits, then they just run with it, right? Like this movie. I mean, what's funny about movies like this, somebody died and people are still watching it and considering it to be a cult classic.
like the Joker, innit, with Heath Ledger.
He is the Joker, see? And what does he do? All about vengeance and bringing vengeance, right? But who does vengeance belong to, brother?
God.
That's right. And it goes back to man being his own God or his own destiny. So see, he's resurrected through ritual in the movie The Crow because he's murdered and his wife was murdered, right?
Yeah.
And so he's come to bring vengeance. And what is that? Like the Punisher. You see, it's all worship around death.
The Death Cult, the Brotherhood of Death is Skull and Bones. That's the name.
There it is. They worship death, you guys. That's why you see all the skulls, the imagery, and all the things. See, I don't participate in satanic stuff, but I love comic books. Okay, you're participating in satanic symbolism and imagery. The Punisher literally is made about a man who wants to bring revenge, self-revenge, so he loses all of his moral, right? Marvel. And what will the world do after the beast, brother?
Marvel after it.
Okay, so what is this? What would you say that this person in Hollywood is doing by wearing a 666 shirt?
Just
Marveling,
feeling who they
giving
were.
homage to the beast.
And that's Crowley called himself the Beast 666, didn't he?
Yep. So
Alien.
see, you get some like crazy stuff too. Like, how do people come up with this artwork? Now, this is where I'm telling you, people get inspiration from the spirit realm by doing drugs like acid and mushrooms and all these different drugs that open up your what? Your consciousness, your third.
They see God, and you know what I mean? They're not seeing God.
No,
They think
So-
they are.
that's right. So here's Mr. Albert Pike. See, this is why it's so easy to expose Freemasonry compared to everything else, and then the tie to the Luciferian doctrine.
God,
He is telling you, General Albert Pike, his own books, his own stuff. So see, this is what I mean. If you want to understand Masonry, you need to read the people that pushed Masonry and were the leaders and founders, right? That's why we worship Jesus, is because he's the one that pushed the truth, right? Like everyone's following somebody. Well, this guy, Albert Pike, said in his own words, that which we must say to the crowd is that we worship a God. Thank God. See, that's why you get the very generic celebrity or person says, oh yeah, I believe in God, a God. But it is the God that adores you without superstition. To you, sovereign grand inspectors, so now he's talking to the brothers, we say this that you may repeat it to the brethren of the 32nd, 31st, and 30th degrees, that by the Masonic religion, so see when people say Masonry is not a religion, then you don't really follow Masonry. You are not really a Mason, according to Albert Pike. Albert Pike would laugh in your face if you were to, like, he was to resurrect himself and you say, oh, I'm part of Masonry. You're part of the religion? No, it's not religion. Then why is he calling it religion? Should be by all of us initiates to the highest degrees maintained in the purity of the Luciferian doctrine. If Lucifer were not God, would Adonai Jesus calumniate and spread false, harmful statements about him? Yes, Lucifer is God. A.C. Delavera, La Feminine.
Why do they get
These French
Adonai
books.
from?
What's that?
Why are they calling Jesus Adonai?
Well, because isn't that what in the Old Testament? Let's go to the Strongs. In the Old Testament, Adonai, Strongs. This is why it's important to understand ancient words too, because a lot of people, Adonai. It's important to understand the ancient context. Is Adonai in?
Yeah, no, Adonai is a Hebrew name for God in the Bible that translates to Lord, Master, or My Great Lord, but it's spelled differently to the way he spelled it.
Yeah, because I have it here pulled up, the Strongs. Oh, Adonai, like Adonai, and he spelt it a little bit different. And see, that's how they can confuse people too. They like you just said it the other day. Okay, the Lord, the proper name of God only, my Lord. A down, right? A Lord, a master, a owner.
They do the same pronunciation. But
because what did Jesus say? You can't serve two masters. So who is your master, right? Albert Pike is telling you who their master is. It's Lucifer.
Well, you become a master mason, and Adonai is basically revealing God to be the authority as master.
Yes.
That's why at university you get a master's degree, guys. You wear that satin on your head.
Yes, and this is why they show you who their master is, Mr. Wiz Khalifa. Khalifa has ties to the ancient mystery schools with Khalifa. You got Cush, like I said, we just showed you with Babylon. Look at right here. Everything in a music video, this is the music video Black and Yellow. How popular was that song for a minute? Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Still is.
Yeah, and look at it because magic's repetition.
Yes, magic. Yes, like abracadabra, abracadabra. All right.
Yeah.
All right. They use these phrases because it's the voice. It's the vibration. You see when your voice says something, you say a word and the vibration happens. Oh, isn't there a song? Good vibrations.
What do you always remember? You always remember the chorus because the chorus is repeated.
That's right. It's yes. Oh, you got the old Beach Boys. I've been trying to tell people, and my brother Adam, these people, the demons, they fell to earth. All right, they're essentially burning up because when you fall to earth, you know, like we see with the old space stuff, when something comes through orbit, it catches on fire. Right. Yeah. And how many times have we seen the fire, you know, representation of Satan, fallen angels? I mean, the Holy Spirit is represented by fire because the fire is a purifier. Fire ultimately purifies, right? That's the only way you can get gold. So you see here in Wiz Khalifa, how many people watch this music video? This happens in a fraction of a second. This is why I take screenshots. I wish I could just show you the music video right now and show you how fast it happens. But this is why they do stuff in the background or they do stuff quickly. It's to give homage to Satan because, look, clearly Wiz Khalifa knows about Satan because he's got a kid there right in front, which is it's a black kid with a white guy wearing the Baphomet. There's the duality of Masonry right there in the music video, paying homage to what? Satan. And he's doing the devil horns, which we showed you with Anton LaVey.
Isn't one of the most famous porn stars called Mia Khalifa as well?
Mia Khalifa, yes. I'm telling you guys, this stuff, and here it is. Another one, the one eye symbol. You see, this stuff happens so fast, and he's got a chain around his neck. Why do you think all these celebrities, I mean, I wear a chain, but like to represent the cross? Because again, why do you think I wear a cross out in public? It isn't because I worship the cross. You should actually have nothing. Like having a bunch of things up in your house or even making pictures of Jesus, it would be considered a blasphemy, an idol to God. Why do you think Jesus didn't sit down with the apostles? And what's the first thing Jesus didn't do with them that most kings or powerful people do? Paint a picture of me.
Yeah. They all have
Jesus did not have a picture painted of him, so
That's
trust me.
why you see when Trump was showing a news reporter around the White House and he had to show every single painting of every president.
Exactly, dude. They
How was it doing?
it's the love of self. Self worship. So see, when people tell me, "Oh, Wiz Khalifa, I love Wiz Khalifa," why? He's clearly showing you that he sold his soul, or he sold out to this. He's got a chain around his neck, literally links and chains, and it's got the one eye symbolism there, with literally in the same music video the Baphomet, the star of the devil, doing the devil horns. Taylor Gang is literally him throwing up the devil horns. That's what it means, Taylor Gang. He's got the P over the I, right? P to like perish. What are the devil and his angels going to do? They're going to perish in the lake of fire. And he's lighting up a joint, right? The smoke of their torment. See, if you understand the Bible, now you start understanding. The light of the body is the eye. All right, here's somebody else wearing a Masonic ring, okay? William DeVoe, the guy that plays the Green Goblin. He plays the devil. If these people don't really believe in the devil, why are they constantly giving homage to the symbol? Again, the eye belongs to Jesus, but who hijacked the eye, the consciousness? Satan. So this is why you see all of these celebrities. The cross. Why do you think Egyptian culture hijacked the cross? It's all a hijacking. It's all a twisting.
Yeah, Tyler Creator, and it's a Tyler who predicts the doors Freemasonry.
Wait, what?
A Tyler.
Oh.
Just type in Tyler Freemasonry.
Yep.
That's why it's called Tyler.
I'm pretty sure I knew this, but this is, again, you learn so much, you do forget. This is why I also save all these images, is because it's important. Why do we take pictures, brother?
Memories.
That's right. To remember things.
Yeah.
All right. Because without them, yes, words are powerful, but I'd say 90% of the people on this earth, they work and they learn from imagery. Tyler, Masonic. Tyler also that's like tiller.
Yeah.
And what do we get back to? We get back to tilling the seeds of the ground.
Yeah.
Tyler also spelled till. Yes, King, a tiller of the ground. Wow, great. The first Mason, or the first actually initiation into Masonry was Adam and Eve building aprons. Showed that plenty of times here. Is the name of an office or the outer god of the Masonic Lodge. Masonic lodges may meet in rooms in taverns. How many people in England, brother? Hey, how you want to go out to the tavern tonight?
Yeah, to get drunk.
To get drunk?
Drink spirits.
To drink spirits? You see how, like, even the places that you go and you enjoy a nice meal are paying homage to things that are built on, unfortunately, dark-rooted things. Yeah. Let's just get everybody involved in masonry without even being involved in masonry by calling these restaurants and breweries and places which they'll go and spend their money called taverns. Right? There it is. A place where we can play games and drink and be merry and enjoy our life, enjoy the day. Oh my gosh, look it. I just seen this. This is why it's important. There's a freaking owl in this tavern.
Oh my word, yeah.
Look at, I don't even think this is supposed to like be revealing anything, but look, why would they choose an image, or why would somebody paint an image, and why would they have an owl hanging up? There it is, Moloch.
It's Moloch, yeah.
See, most people say, oh, it's just an owl. What's wrong with an owl, Dustin? What's wrong with an owl, Illusion? Well, when you understand who Moloch is,
yeah. Well, we'll do 20 more minutes. There's only 20 people watching.
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me who's watching, because it's who will see this.
Yeah.
The cremation of care. There it is, the cremation of care, where in the Bohemian Grove, okay?
Yeah.
The Bohemian Grove, which is a club. The Bohemian Club is a private club with 2 locations, a city in Nob Hill and the district of San Francisco. Where was the Super Bowl just this year? See, California.
Yeah, the superb owl.
The superb ball, or ball, yes, the superb owl. It's represented by an owl, right? Because what is an owl? A representation of the owl? The owl is a representation of knowledge
Yeah,
and
wisdom.
working in the dark. Because when do owls usually come out? They come out in the dark. Oh, back to now Harry Potter. Oh, one of the most famous movies that show kids. How many kids love owls simply for this movie alone now?
Yeah, yeah. Can't an owl rotate its head like 360 as well?
Yes, and I was going to say you can't sneak up on an owl because an owl can turn its head 360 degrees. And look, it's a white owl. Like innocence, Harry receives a white owl because he's the innocent boy, the boy who lived. And what did he live from? Being scarred by the darkness. But guess what? He became one with that darkness. Because as we see through the progression of the story, Harry and Voldemort, who is essentially the representation of Satan, the snake, he was part of Slytherin, right?
Yeah.
They are linked. Again, there's the chain, the link. You know what I'm saying? Like you see how easy it is to connect this stuff?
Yeah, but like so you've been in it 15 years.
Because exactly, I just see what these people are involved in. All right, now let's just roll through some images because, like I say, see how easy it is to just venture down some rabbit holes. Prisoners, they got the pass and the labyrinth behind them. You know, again, how many celebrities? You know, the look at this person's playing a guitar with a literally cross with a like.
In that Sinners movie, one of the main characters, he was given a guitar, which gave him all of his talent.
Yeah, and you were just talking about that with what's his name, Robinson.
The guy who sold his soul in Mississippi.
Yep, the guy who sold his soul in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I love listening. Oh, one of my favorite things to do is listen to Howard Stern. Yeah, Howard Stern is a Freemason.
But
I,
last thing I say about that Sinners movie, the three vampires, they appeared at the party and they started singing Irish folk music. They had incredible voices, and said, "We're coming for you." He wanted to get the guy. These vampires wanted to get the guy who was incredible at the blues on the guitar, and they talked about how like his music could take them to like a different portal and things like that. Like
because music is very powerful. That's why I believe Satan used it. It's that vibration.
Can you ever hear a song and it brings you back to the 90s? You like right there, like you can remember being a child or a teenager or dating somebody. It's a time machine, isn't it?
It really is. And look, even the Beach Boys, you see these people, they were involved in the occult. Most people, when they were watching the Beach Boys in the time during when they were, you know, in 1966, they weren't reading the books about the occult. They weren't looking up the internet and all the things that the Beach Boys were doing. They were just enjoying the good vibrations.
1966 when the Church of Satan came out.
Boom. And they have ties to Aleister Crowley and all these witches and people too. And
Yeah.
and
So do the
Charles Manson.
Yeah, and the Beatles.
I'm picking up good vibration.
Don't they?
She's
People always ask you like, how come the UK has developed so many incredible artists? Because of Crowley.
yes, because once you join the club, you now are initiated into the rite of passage. Look at Hugh Grant. How many famous movies has he been in? I hate to say, I don't think he's that great of an actor to be.
Oh, not even close.
I don't think he's that great, but yet so many people say he's such a great actor. Oh my gosh, he's in so many good like love films and blah blah blah. Well, here he is on the cover. If you get on the cover of a magazine, you have paid your due, right? You have paid your due. It says the devil in Hugh Grant. What?
Yep.
And look, he's holding an apple with the bite out of it.
I know. Like, what more do you want, people?
Like they're all like
I
they're
don't
all
say that. He stars in. Is he in Notting Hill? What is that the famous movie?
yeah, Nothing Hill, Bridget Jones' Diary. I don't remember. Most of them are
Yeah,
rom-coms and
that's
stuff.
the issue. You show them this, and then it scars their movie and their memories, so they don't want to have it, do they? They don't want to accept it.
Yeah, and
Hey.
here we are. We have Seal, right? We have Seal holding an apple doing the 666. What? Like, you see, so, okay, is it the person that's taking the photo that makes them hold the apple, or is it that they know that they're doing it, so they
And the
participate?
orange background, orange means 33,
Yep.
doesn't it? It's the
Orange is 33. The orange is the new black.
Yeah, Trump, orange man replacing Obama.
And what is orange usually a representation of? Fire.
Yep.
All
And the
right, the
sun.
flame.
And the
There he
sun.
is. The seal. What is Jesus going to do at judgment when
Open
he
the seven seals.
opened the seven seals? You think this guy's parents named him Seal?
I know. Do you know what I mean? What a silly name.
Yeah, it's a pen name. Here's this guy. Oh, Ricky Gervais. He's a good guy because he's an atheist. He doesn't participate in religion. I
He
really
called
like his
everybody out
views.
at the Oscars, which he
Yeah, he
was.
calls every, he told everybody you're friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh man, wow, this guy's a truther. He's a truther. He's trying to tell people the truth. Why is he then doing the 666, holding a plant, like biting an apple leaf, like right? That looks like the leaves from an apple, and he's wearing a spotted suit. What is it? Like we're all
Do you know
spotted.
Ricky Gervais was like a pop star in the 80s as well?
What's that?
Do you know he was a pop star in the 80s?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, 'cause do you know what I mean? They act like he just came on the scene, right? Out
Yeah.
of nowhere, that he wrote The Office, all right, got his monster break, and then he took advantage of that break. This guy he was on top of the pops in England as a musician, as a lead singer. Like, he
Yeah.
didn't come out of nowhere, like people believe.
None of these people do. And then when they convert, you're like, okay, are you true convert? Because brother, even in my wildest dreams, I don't think I'd ever just tattoo a one eye on my body. Now, again, if you're listening and you have a one eye tattooed on your body, hey, we all make mistakes. That's why
He's got
tattooing.
33 on his wrist as well. He has
Oh
the
yeah, I've got it. Oh, this guy, oh, he's Christian now. This is his past. Well, what if he's trying to erase his past because that's now the script is to now convert to be angels of light. They did their part in the darkness. See, they pushed their thing, but I hate to say it's not turning out too good for Russell Brand. All right, brand like brand and mark. You brand somebody to mark them,
yeah,
right?
Russell. Russell Brand. So what they do basically, they take you into one cult and then lead you into another. So a lot of them are leading people into Catholicism right now.
Yes, Catholicism,
Which is
but
a cool.
I wouldn't say Catholics should be too keen on having this guy represent him. December 23rd, 2025. This is very recent, long after his quote conversion into Catholicism and his whole public baptism and the whole debauchery he did. All right. December 24th, USA Today. How many people read USA Today? This isn't conspiracy article. This isn't me going on Reddit or Twitter, right? This
Yeah.
is USA Today. People really trust this brand. This is why we use the mainstream news to also prove our theories or what they say are theories. Because if it's in the mainline, like, flow of information, it's something they want you to know. Otherwise, they wouldn't make a story on it. So Russell Brand's becoming this great Christian, this great face of Christianity, making people become way more spiritual. Yet in December of 2025, Russell Brand is facing new allegations of sexual assault 8 months, there's the 8, after the comedian was dealt with a slew of criminal charges in a sweeping investigation by the London police. The British comedian, 50, has been charged with 2 counts, one of rape and one of sexual assault, following additional claims by 2 women in the Metropolitan Police announced on a press release on Tuesday, December 23rd. The identity of the women were not disclosed.
Of course.
Okay, here it is. I feel so blessed that I have the opportunity to atone for many things over the years that I did wrong. Now, again, if he was genuine and he really does believe in Christ, okay, I would hope that his conversion is genuine. But then when you see him making a podcast and you see him continuing in the celebrity life and continue to receive Oscars and Grammys and continue to participate in literally satanic run system, how? How can you be so atonement for your things, Russell, but then continue to do a podcast and
There's no
continue to talk about doing tarot cards and stuff?
Yeah. There's no repentance. There's no genuine change of heart. And then people say, "How dare you judge Russell? Who are you to judge him?" When we're told to judge them by the fruits. So
Yeah.
this is what he's been. He's been a Buddhist. He's been a Catholic, a Christian, a New Ager, like a cultist. And do you remember his interview when he was like, "Oh, there is no such thing as the Illuminati because if there was, they would have invited me."
Exactly.
People are like, "Oh yeah, well, he's speaking so openly about the Illuminati. Obviously, he's not a member because you're supposed to keep your mouth shut. But it's like they don't understand, man. They're just fools. The world's full of fools, unfortunately. The Bible tells us that, doesn't it?
Yes, it
The
does.
world's
And
full of fools. It's full of fools, jokers.
I mean, how can you look at this photo that I have on the screen and know that they're not literally
No,
paying
like
homage?
what the heck? How can you stick up for the one-eyed symbolism devil horns, the black and white? Like it's unbelievable.
And how can you say that this is just being artistic? When have you ever, even before you were a child of God, drew a hand on your one eye and then threw it up over one eye to take a photo with the rock hand, the rock on horns?
No, 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 no.
It,
Like
it it just seems so like out there to even to do, right? And as we were just talking about the seals, here we go. I have another one. The seal of Solomon.
it's funny how the Navy SEALs killed Bin Laden as well, supposedly.
Yeah, the Navy and the people from the water, the seamen, right? The seamen, all right? Because where did Lucifer fall to, brother? He fell to the earth. And where is he now residing? I believe he is in the sea.
Yeah, I agree.
Why? Because they are going to burn in the lake of fire. So it's funny how God reveals it to be the lake of fire, a lake, but it's going to be fire. How do you put something out with a fire? Water.
Water.
Water. Okay. Now this is what's fun is when you watch documentaries and stuff. Again, these are from the books. If you didn't read the books, you'd have no idea. I'd have no idea what masonry really is. This is why it does take time, and it's hard for people to keep their attention, on this stuff because they are completely shrouded in the mystery. They don't have enough base knowledge. They start looking into this. This is why it's important to understand who you're following and how they're revealing stuff to you. Again, if it doesn't come back to the Bible, you're really just leading people in a circle that is essentially what these people are doing. So this guy, Arthur Edwards Waite, who knows who this guy is? Nobody. But the Masons, they know who he is because he's written a book as a 33rd degree Freemason, right? They read each other's books. They read each other's knowledge. This is how they gain the inner cult knowledge, like in the Parent or the movie with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro, with Meet the Parents. He goes up to Fokker and he's like, "You are now what I call in the circle of trust."
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he does the 666 hand as he does the circle, and he says, "You are in the circle now." Because again, they're revealing stuff now. Because this is what's crazy about the New World Order, the Great Awakening, is that they're revealing their stuff now because they want to show you what is coming. Because part of karma, I hate the word karma because how many Christians say, "Oh, I just want good karma"?
Oh, it's unbelievable, yeah.
How many times is karma said in the Bible, brother? As a man that's read the Bible,
Taylor Swift said, "Karma is my god."
karma is not in the Bible at all, folks. It comes from the Hindu religion and all these esoteric ancient philosophy religions about the karmatic effect of energy,
It's
right?
one of the most common questions I actually get asked on Instagram is, "Do you believe in karma illusion?" They ask me that a lot. I'm like, no, I don't.
Because if you believe in karma, that means that everything is randomized.
Exactly.
And as we're seeing here, random doesn't really work. You don't just get
karma is you get what you deserve, yeah?
yes.
And we all deserve hell.
Yes, so karma actually should be totally unfair to all of us.
That's what I'm saying. So if it's like, okay, if you do this, then karma's gonna like come and haunt you. Okay, if you performed a heinous act, then a heinous act will be performed on you. No, that's not how life works at all. You always hear the expression as well, don't you, that bad things happen to good people. Why? If that's not karma, is it?
That's terrible. Yeah, like why do we suffer with our finances if karma, like trying to reveal people and bring people to the truth? Why are we suffering? Why do Christians suffer?
We're all gonna suffer. We're all
That's-
gonna have opportunities for short-term happiness and
That's
we'll have
right.
pleasant moments. But it's not a case of like you hear people say that's like, "Are you not gonna do anything about it?" And they go, "I'm gonna let karma work its magic." And it's like, what? You're gonna let karma work its magic? No. But then you also have people who are like, well, this guy is so generous, so loving. How come at age 23 he's got terminal cancer? Imagine somebody saying it's karma. For what? You got terminal cancer for what? Don't believe in karma, guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you're Christian, you can't adhere to the ideology of karma because it's not in the Bible. God doesn't say if you do this, then the universe will answer with that. No, God will righteously judge the living and the dead at judgment, and he will righteously judge all of us for our sin. And this is why we all, if karma is real, we do not deserve anything from God. We do not deserve any grace. That's why you can't come to him and you can't say, well, look what I did, God. He's going to reveal very quickly how evil you actually were, how you participated in the devil and his games. As we talk about the brotherhood of death, this is what we chose over God. This is what Adam and Eve chose over God. God told them the truth. Did Satan tell them the truth? God said, if you touch that tree, which again, the tree can represent human. Look in the book. Look in the Bible. Sometimes the tree is represented as a person. Now the tree of life would be Jesus Christ, and the tree of knowledge. Who is the one trying to give knowledge through the esoteric, the cult, the hidden mysteries, which the devil. And that brought what? Death.
Yeah.
God was going to reveal everything to us, you guys. But instead, we chose death. We continue to choose death instead of life. Yes. This is why nobody can go to God and say, I did my best. Well, your best wasn't Jesus. Sorry.
Your best wasn't perfect.
That's very, very good. Your best was not perfect. Okay? So as we're just cruising through, you see all these people, they worship death, they worship men, they worship idols, they worship statues. God is just like continuously saying, I hate these things. I hate them. But what does the devil want to do? He wants to throw parties where you put an animal head, the deer or the stag, on your freaking head while you're at a party. Yeah, you know that they have this thing called the Illuminati ball with the Rothschilds? Did you know that?
Yeah, you can show them.
Oh, yeah.
But they do the statues because they believe it immortalizes a person, that they live forever.
You guys think I'm joking? The Illuminati ball, look it. You think I'm joking? You think that they don't have a thing called the Illuminati bar where they do this freaking eyes wide shut stuff?
Yep.
Look it. It's literally the IlluminatiBall.com. Ball, like baseball, basketball, football.
Trump's building his ballroom.
The ballroom.
Oh wait, what was that find you made with the ballroom? And you went, oh my word. You made a find with Trump's ballroom in the Bible.
Well, it goes to AC/DC because AC/DC, who do they give homage to?
The devil.
The devil. All right, and AC/DC has a song called "Big Balls." Now, see, everyone would say, "Oh yeah, that song is just talking about a thing," but no, as you can see here. They wear glasses, so this is almost like a representation of the Matrix, right? They hide their eyes because the eyes, they say, are the window to the soul, right?
Yeah.
And there it is in the own album cover, Big Balls, culture, TV, culture. They are creating a culture. What is AC/DC? How many people? I just seen a guy yesterday at the store. When I was at the store, he's rocking an AC/DC hat and T-shirt. What if that guy goes to church every weekend?
And I said the Antichrist is in DC.
Yeah, or I told him, like, if I was to go up him in that store and be like, "Hey, you know that band worships Satan?" They'd be like, "Oh no, it's just a band. It's just art." Okay, you see how numb we've become to it through these bands and through these rituals and through these idols and celebrities.
Didn't Pink Floyd have a song called "Comfortably Numb"? And
yes, comfortably numb.
I've become so numb.
And Pink Floyd also has a song called "Brick in the Wall." Right? Who are the bricklayers?
Yeah, Freemasonry.
The Masons, all right? And then you have... what? Pink Floyd, 1968, Clockwise from the Bottom. You have David, right? David. You have Nick Mason.
What? There's a guy called Nick Mason.
Right here, baby.
That's hilarious, but
He's the drummer, Nicholas Berkeley Mason
wow.
from England, right?
That's where Freemasonry was, well, modern day Freemasonry was founded.
A member of Nick Mason. What? Years active, 1964 president, member of Pink Floyd and Nick Mason's Saucerful of Secrets. What the heck? Nick Mason's saucer full of secrets, like flying saucer, like aliens?
Secret occult, yeah.
The band comprised of Pink Floyd drummer, co-founder Nick Mason, the bassist Guy Pratt, the guitarist Gary Kemp, and the Lee Harris, the keyboardist Dom Becken, as fans discovered Pink Floyd with their best-selling 1973 album, The Dark Side of the Moon. There it is. The light. Oh, and then the rainbow. What does the rainbow represent in our modern culture?
BTQ.
LGBTQ, which is the Baphomet agenda. So see, from dark to light, it's the opening up of your eye. You see the one eye. From dark to light, when you become initiated, you then leave the darkness to enter the light. Well, in God's ideology of the dark side, this light means judgment. The rainbow represents judgment and God's promise to never bring judgment like he did with the flood. Again, you see why I tell you, all these people, they come from the sea. The dark side. What's the most dark? Where's the darkest place on the earth, brother?
The sea.
The sea. Right? SpongeBob. Oh, who lives in the pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
And voices in yellow and poor, says he. Like they're telling you in your movies. I gotta close some tabs. They're telling you in their albums. They're telling you in their thing. You see, it's this awakening, and that's what this new world order and this one eye is that they're showing you. They have been awakened. They see. They are no longer in darkness.
See that? They see, like the sea.
The sea.
They see the sea.
All right, you see these images? Like how many images of all these different celebrities with 666 being a part of Masonry? There's the old I'm not involved with it. I'm not doing anything. Do you have a Gmail account? Do you have a Google? Do you have a Gmail account? Oh boy!
There you go.
You are participating in their games, whether you believe you are or not, because they are the builders.
Yep.
You got to understand this, like, now more than later. If you're still denying. Kesha, again, there it is again. There it is again. Doing the one eye symbol over an eye with the one eye dark and black.
Doesn't she have a song called TikTok?
Yeah, she has TikTok. She has a lot of famous songs. She has a song called We're Gonna Die Young, too. And in that video, look, I took a screenshot because, again, I watch these things to catch what they are presenting. They have the pyramid, the diamond, with the upside-down cross, with the illumination. In the music, this happens in literally 2 seconds. You have to literally stop and then potentially have to go back and try to catch it right at the right moment when she's opening up in this movie called Die Young. The Diamond. What's one of what's the most famous song by
Rihanna.
the Beatles? Well, yeah, Shining Light Like a Diamond, but it's actually even older than that, to an even more famous band. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Dun, 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 dun. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Who's Lucy?
Lucifer.
They're telling you, and everyone's like, this is the greatest band ever.
But say the word diamond.
Diamond.
Die.
And
have you seen the movie, the Blood Diamond?
Blood Diamond, yes, with Leo, Leonardo DiCaprio, who is the roaring lion that comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And he's in. So see, okay, as I just showed you with the diamond in the sky, the diamond, you want to be a diamond in the rough, right? The diamond that shines bright like a diamond. Look at the Beatles, the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, the 8th album. Released on May 26, 1967, Sgt. Pepper is regarded by musicologists as an early concept album. See, this is how they get you into the art lie. It's concept art. It's not really what it is. It's just a concept. Well, where are they getting this concept from? Well, probably from the guy that they have literally featured on the album cover, Aleister Crowley.
Yes.
So when you call us crazy and you say, these guys ain't linked to this stuff, why are you putting Aleister Crowley on your eighth band?
The way they get away with it is that 99% of the world have never heard of Aleister Crowley.
No.
That's why they get away with it. All they're looking at there is probably the Beatles.
And how many people have actually heard about the Rothschilds and the Illuminati ball?
Well, have you got the image of the Beatles with the babies?
Oh yeah, brother.
And if you still listen to Beatles music after this, then you have an issue.
Let's get into this one. I got photos all over the place, so give me a sec. Well, while we're just going through, here we go. Does this look like something that's paying homage to Satan? Oh, it's the I love you symbol. It's the I love you symbol, Adam. Well, then why are these crazy demonic art forms having snakes like Medusa with empty, soulless eyes being shown with the devil horns with two snakes coming together with a necklace, a chain with the satanic star? Like, folks, writing books, witches. There he is in front of the satanic symbol. Like, you guys, rock on. Here's Madonna with some children doing the symbol. Oh, these poor children. Lucifer, there she is, doing some really crazy stuff. The one eye, the X over the eye. X marks the spot. There she is, as a goddess. Mystery Babylon is what's Mystery Babylon represented by? A woman.
Yeah, the whore of Babylon.
The whore of Babylon. Literally, Madonna is a confirmed Kabbalist.
Yes, she studies the Kabbalah, yeah.
So when people say, oh, they're not into this stuff, I'm listening to Madonna not for religious reasons. Well, that's fine. She is pushing her religious things on you through her music and through her performance.
Like a Virgin video where she's got
like a dude, yeah. American singer actress Madonna has incorporated references to religious themes and spiritual practices from various religions, including Christianity. She was raised Catholic. Well, there's why she didn't cling on to Christ and was easily influenced to do all this other stuff, because Catholicism is built upon false idols and religion. It's religious practice. It isn't the Bible.
Brother, the term Madonna originates from the Italian Madonna, which means my lady, and it's a respectful title used for Mary, the mother of Jesus, representing purity and nurturing in Christian art. Alright? And then you also have what's known as the Black Madonna, which is associated with pagan goddesses of fertility. And that's where the nickname for Madonna came from, because they call her a pop goddess or a secular goddess. So, do you understand this, guys? Like, the Black Madonna was really prominent in medieval period, and it's all about ancient pagan goddess, fertility traditions, Isis, Artemis, all right? And supposedly, they'll tell you that Madonna frequently symbolizes purity and innocence. That's why she sang the like a virgin, the purity, all right? But then she says touch for the very first time. So yeah,
goes back to sex. See, like we told you in the Bible, in the beginning, what made Adam and Eve realize they were naked? Why do you know that you're naked? Why do you get naked in this life? You really need to just start connecting the dots here, my Christians, brothers and sisters, because a lot of people in the church, they just continue to lack the understanding that God is trying to reveal from the very beginning. This is sex magic that has happened to us.
Type that in, actually. Type in sex magic.
I will. And who does that come from? Who made that really popular?
Crowley.
We just talked about him. So as I'm showing you Drake's famous album, Summer 16, SS. What's the SS representative of too?
Nazis.
Nazi, Hitler. Like, you guys, it's all of them. When you see those memes, it's all of them. It's literally all of them. I don't believe that you can become initiated or become famous and a powerful public figure in this space without being initiated. And if you're one of the lower level, you'll never get a Grammy. You'll never get the $1 million. You'll never be in movies. You won't.
There's no way, and then people are naive to that because you are taught to believe, work hard, you get what you deserve, and that's not how this works. It's not how it works.
It's not. And so Aleister Crowley, as we've shown, is part of some major, because would you say that the Beatles are still influencing culture today?
Massively, and they massively influenced Michael Jackson, who was influenced by Egyptian gods.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, folks, but if you think that Michael Jackson was just doing what he was doing, because look, this is why we have to pray for people like Michael Jackson. He was raised in this. His father, his own parents sold him out into this cult, right? So sometimes even like with Macaulay Culkin, all right, the guy from Home Alone, if your parents are involved in this stuff and you grew up in this, you aren't going to know any better. So that's why you really do got to pray for these people. We can sit here and bash all these people and say they're satanic, but if you grow up in it, the chances of you becoming a satanic, follower or part of the Illuminati is very high. But again, this is where choice comes in, and like eventually you don't have to be what your parents are. Like for all of you who's like, I have a lot of trauma. We all have trauma from our childhood of things our parents did or didn't do, things they said to us, things they didn't say to us. Like, I know some families, they don't say I love you in their family. My family grew up, we said I love you at any moment we could. Some families, that's just not the case. So are you going to be more apathetic to love if you hear love all the time in your life compared to if you're not? Probably.
Yeah, agreed.
Are you going to be more inclined to do satanic rituals if you grew up doing ritualistic type of things always as children? Probably. Exactly. So this is why you got to find a lot of grace on these people that are involved in this and pray that they come out. Because if they really do come out, they will not want to be a part of it anymore. Because they will see, I am not doing the will of God. I'm not doing anything good for the kingdom of God. I'm just producing bad fruit. Mm-hmm. Now, again, none of this determines our salvation, but you should see a change. Again, how many pictures have you taken since you've been a child of God where you cover up your one eye or you do the rock devil horns, brother?
I'm going to take a few today.
Yeah, do a few one-eye pictures. I'm going to draw with a Sharpie right now. One eye.
If you and I did them and posted them, right? Everyone would be in uproar. But when you share the celebrities doing it, they don't. There's no reaction.
Yeah, seriously.
If all photos of me and you doing that in a bar with down in shorts, what would they all call us? They call you a hypocrite. You're a fraud. But when there's beloved celebrities are doing it all and still thanking God, it's like, oh wow, that's amazing. That's how blinded they are and how under a spell they are.
Yeah, because they're under sex ritual magic, which is crazy because, again, why is everyone doing what they're doing mostly in life, brother? Why do you make money? To get power, to get status. Why do you get status and power? To get people to like you. Why do you want people to like you? Because then there might be somebody who wants to have sex with you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, guess what? All these elite and these old, creepy old men that were part of the Jeffrey Epstein files and all that, which when you actually study it, yes, it's young, women, men, old. Most of the time, though, when you see all these perverts that are doing the movers and true shakers, who are they? A bunch of old, horny bastards.
Yes, correct.
That's just the truth. And if you say, no, it's not, yes, it is. You think Trump gives a crap about money? No, he cares about sex. It's always been about sex for him. You think that any of these people that are in Hollywood give a crap about money? They got more money than they can even think to do with.
Why do you think Epstein had so much power? Because he had all the footage of them having sex with people.
Yes, called a honeypot. Now, Jesus says that Israel and God's people will be in a land that is of milk and honey. What drinks milk? A baby, right? Yeah. And what is honey? It's sweet. It's easy to consume.
Yeah.
That's why they trick these people, and that's why, again, I don't want to necessarily condemn all these people that are involved with this or doing this, because what if, yeah, okay, to say I'm a person that's actually working nefariously against you, and I invite you to a party, and I say, you know what, come to this party, it's going to be really awesome. There's going to be a lot of who's there's there. You might get a chance to network and do some really awesome things for your brand. Well, that sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a great. Doesn't that sound like a great idea?
Have you heard that song where it's like sugar do 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 do
Yeah, yeah.
honey,
Dun,
honey, do do do.
dun, and sugar. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, because it's easier to feed somebody sugar. You wouldn't want to be salty and be like, hey, you're going to go to this party, but unfortunately, there's going to be a bunch of assholes there, and they're going to probably dog on for what you're wearing, and they're not going to really like your look. If your hair's done a certain way, they ain't going to even want to talk to you. Well, then I ain't going to that party.
Exactly.
You ain't going to feed somebody negative connotation or negative food, like something that's rotten, without shrouding it in darkness or without shrouding it in light first, right? Like that's why sugar is the most. Everyone says, "Oh, I don't do drugs. I'm not a drug addict. I'm sober in the mind." Or do you need that sweet treat every day? Do you need that sweet snack every day? Guess what? You are a drug addict. You are addicted. You are addicted.
They're being told what drugs are, haven't they? The world's being told what drugs are.
Yes.
If the world really, like, imagine if the world made chocolate illegal. And oh my word, oh my word, I just was out at a party and this guy was just munching on a Knickers bar. Oh my word, arrest the guy. That's how the world could be if they made chocolate illegal, couldn't they? And they'd be like, okay, chocolate changes the way you act, the way you behave. And you just convince yourself in your head, you'd be like, well, he just had some chocolate. He's acting a bit strange, isn't he? And he's probably not even changed the way that he was acting. That's how much that Satan can control. So like you said with sugar is one of the biggest drugs, and it kills as well. How many people die of diabetes and heart attacks? And a lot of it's through what they eat and through sugar.
I'll tell you right now, sugar is probably the greatest tool of the devil and the greatest enemy to mankind. Why? Because it gives a false perception of something that is good. Like, because it tastes sweet. That's why if literally they've done studies. I probably could find it. I'm not really trying to, because like I said, see how easy it is. We've barely been able to get through photos, but this is how easy it is to branch off to understand the knowledge. Like, yes, looking at image is powerful, but if you don't understand the power behind the image, it makes no sense. It just looks like Hillary Clinton going up on stage right here and saying, "I love you." That's all it means to the inept or the person that doesn't understand the language behind the hand symbol. She knows what she's doing. And look at her eyes. Their eyes always seem to go really trippy when they start throwing up symbols. It's like they get a high. George Bush and his wife, they're just at a thing, Adam, and they're saying "I love you" to the people.
Yeah, well, blimmin', get a microphone and say, "Hey guys, I love you all."
Italian prime minister, he's just with all these group of people, these powerful people, throwing up the hand sign. "I love you, man. I really love you." Give me a break, guys.
Yeah, it's embarrassing at this point. When you can see what we see, it's like the devil's just piss poor, weak, defeated, evil entity who's going to perish in the lake of fire. And these people who are going to walk with him, we pray for them, like you said earlier. We do. Look at that. But come on, like, you've got an upside down cross, you've got the devil in the background, carved images, like, they're choosing evil. Men will love darkness more than they love the light. And they'll have to deal with that on Judgment Day unless they have a change of heart, won't they? They're going to have to deal with it for eternity.
If this was truly a Christian nation, wouldn't we have already had an uprising and had this every single satanic temple statue that has our children looking up to the Baphomet? Wouldn't we have those completely melted down and thrown? I'd throw this into the fucking bottom of the ocean.
Well,
this is disgusting to me that we can even have this in our state capital. Excuse my language. It riles me up because people say, "Oh, they're not after our children." What do you mean they're not after our children?
I know you got the children looking up to...
And I've got kids, so you know what? It's extra passionate to me because I've literally had predators try to come after my children. I've had predators try to come after my own family members. This hits closer to home to me than a lot of people. You know that when in the 80s when my sister was born, my mom went to the mall and she was sitting there with my new baby born sister, barely not even a year old, holding her in the mall. Okay, and this is before again my parents knew anything. My mom didn't know anything about the trafficking or you know, like it's only become more evident with all the current culture. She sits down and an old woman, she looks like an old lady, sits down next to her and says, "Oh, you got a beautiful baby." And my mom, she's very friendly. She's never met a stranger in her life, if you understand, you know, that term. The old woman then tries to groom my mom, and she says, "Oh no, I've left my jacket at the other side of the mall at a dentist office." And you know, she looks like an old woman, so my mom's like trying to be kind and do a good deed and says, "Oh, I'll help you out. Like, I'll go get your jacket for you if you just wait here." Who wouldn't want to do that? You know, you see that a person's struggling to walk. It's a little bit of a walk, not for especially an old person. In your mind, being a good person, quote, good, of course you're going to want to help an old person. Like the old lady going across the street. Here, let me help you. Let me, like, be here for you in case you fall. Give you a little bit of balance, stability, right? So this woman asked my mom to go get her jacket, and then my mom not knowing what she's doing, she's grooming my mom. You see what grooming is? It's conditioning somebody to trust you initially, get you feeling like you're good. She says, "Oh, okay, well, to make it faster, I'll watch your baby for you." My mom is not thinking anything nefarious, my brothers and sisters. She's not thinking that this old woman's trying to do anything nefarious. She's just simply a good deed for a good deed. Okay, I can be faster because, yeah, got to carry a baby. You're not going to walk as fast. Baby might start crying, might puke. You know what I mean? Lots can happen with a baby. So the old woman offers to watch my mom's baby, my older sister, and my mom goes, "Well, you know, she's a handful. I wouldn't want her to be a handful for you. You can't even walk to get your jacket, let alone watch a brand new newborn. I don't trust you with like that." That's the simple trust, like lack of trust. It's like, I don't trust you because, hey, you don't know my baby, and I wouldn't want my baby to have something happen while I'm gone. So no, I will not let you watch my baby. I'll take her with me and I'll go get your jacket. She goes, "Okay, great." So my mom goes off, goes to the office where this woman told her that she kept her jacket. And when my mom gets there, she goes to the receptionist. She goes, "Hey, there was an old woman that was in here today, and she said she left her jacket." The receptionist looks at my mom and goes, "There was no old woman in here today." My mom goes, "What? Yeah, she looks like this." Described her, you know, like, and this is in Idaho, you know what I mean? There's not many people going to the mall. It was called the Pine Ridge Mall. Not poppin', all right? Not poppin' place. So you probably remember most people that are coming in and out. Malls were much more poppin' back in that time, but you don't really forget. You know, I like with me, I don't forget a face. Yeah, I may forget your name, but if I've seen you before, I'm probably going to recognize you. Have you ever been at the store and you see a person that you went to high school with and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I know who that is. I don't know who it is because I forgot their name, but I cannot forget the face."
Yes.
So it's hard to forget a face. So my mom's like, "Wait, you don't, this is a very specific person that you probably remember." She's like, "No." And there's no jacket here. So my mom's now not thinking anything nefarious still. She's thinking, "Oh, the old woman's kind of lost her marbles, forgot where she actually put her jacket, probably put it in another place and thought it was this place." That's all my mom's thinking. She goes back to that spot where the old woman is, gone.
Wow.
Gone. Why wasn't the old woman waiting there if she really lost her jacket? So my mom could come back and be like, "Hey, miss, you did you forget where you left your jacket? Did you leave it in another spot? Wouldn't you be waiting there if you were literally lost your jacket and that was your favorite jacket that your papa gave you to or your grandchild, whatever? Wouldn't you sit there and continue to wait?"
Yeah, of course.
She's gone. And guess who she would have been gone with if my mom would have been stupid and been ignorant enough? Thankfully not. But how many parents did do that? How many people have done that? "Oh, I'm going to leave my baby with the neighbor. They're not going to do anything because I know them." Wow. No, you don't.
Also, I remember being younger in a supermarket. Supermarkets are big, aren't they? When you're a kid,
Yes.
when you're young. And I would always go off and do my own thing. How easy was it for somebody to grab me?
Dude, we put a lot of trust in random strangers. And I'm telling you right now, if you're a person with kids, you can't trust nobody with your kids,
No.
even family members. I will tell you, I know stories of people that I know where mom or dad, grandma or grandpa are sexually abusing the child. The person you think you're supposed to trust more than anyone in this world You would never drop your daughter off or your son or your kids off at grandma's house and think, well, now grandma's hiring men to come over and pimp out my kids while I'm gone at work. You think that doesn't happen?
That
You're
would
ignorant. I'm
happen.
sorry. You're ignorant and you don't understand how this world really works. Again, there's a lot of money involved with this stuff. A lot of money. There's your boy. He's Christian, Adam. Look at your boy.
No, go, bro. Today, you don't have Twitter, do you?
I do, but I don't like
But
it.
anyway, today, Ronaldo has just posted an image of him, right? So-called believer in Christ, saying, Eid Mubarak to all. I hope you have a very special day with your family and loved ones. Wishing you all peace and happiness. This is a guy who claims to be um, a Catholic, is celebrating Eid. And as I've told people before, Eid, what is that in reverse? Die.
Die.
Die. So, again, Cristiano Ronaldo is a child of God. He loves God. He gives all glory to God. Why is he honoring Eid? Why would any genuinely reborn believer in Christ honor Eid and Islam? Because they're obviously deceiving people, and people like, oh, but he says he goes to church. Again, imagine me doing a live stream for like 3 hours, thanking Allah and taking part in Eid with everything I've said about Christianity. It's a red flag. So why is it not a red flag with him?
Because they've got people under a spell, brother. Because again, they've become numb to the symbols, to the signs, and they think it's just a part of culture and society and art. See, art is the way that Satan has actually tricked mankind. Look at Daft Punk. How many people, like you said, you like electronic music? That's all they do. They don't have barely any lyrics, maybe some. Move it better, faster, stronger, robotic. But look at, they perform inside of a pyramid with a floating capstone. Oh, I love this band. They're not satanic. Oh, okay. They're giving homage to satanic symbolism, to well known, rooted satanic imagery. They're performing in it. They're the stars of the show, right?
Yeah.
The stars.
Being
Got your
work.
boy Pharrell. They're opening up the eye. They're trying to open up your mind, your consciousness. I mean, how many freaking artists? I've never even heard of Doris Day. This is an old school freaking celebrity. Why is she doing the vow of silence if it hasn't been this way the whole time? Charlie Chaplin. How many people love him? How many people said he was a great performer?
Yeah, he's
CC. There it is. His name, Charlie Chaplin. CC. 33.
got the lie in his name as well.
Yeah. They paint their eyes and look at the mustache. You guys, Alfred Hitchcock, or Elvis Presley. Elvis was a good guy. Oh, he became Christian later. I was like, well, I'm sorry. Did they really honor Christ by continuing to be called kings, the best, the goats, continue to participate in this stuff? Everyone talks about how great a guy Keanu Reeves is. He's really chill. He just tries to do his own thing. As they get older, yeah, maybe they slow down what they're actually pushing because they start understanding, well, I've done my due. But that's the thing is when you sell out and you sell your soul, why do you think like bands are still performing like even AC/DC? Brother, if you made all that money and you became this famous and you had all this stuff, you accumulated all this wealth, why are you performing at 70 years old still?
They'll say
Like,
for the love of music.
yeah, no, it's because that's in their contract. You will pay your due till the day you die.
Yep. Who said that? What musician said that? Bob Dylan?
Bob Dylan, yeah, he goes, why do you still do this? He goes, because I made a pact. Somebody said in chat earlier. Bob Dylan said because I made a pact with the chief prince. He goes, the chief prince, who's that? He goes, the one of this world and the one we can't see. Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Just constant. Phil Collins. Oh, I love Phil Collins. I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Oh.
Hold on.
He always wore black and white, didn't he? Like black.
Always wore black and white. There it is. There he is. Such a great artist, but they're great artists because they understand the great mystery. And then again, we talk about their tattoos. Why are they getting these crazy tattoos of Hindu goddesses and all these false religions tattooed on them? There's your boy, Richard Pryor. Some say the greatest comedian, one of the greatest. Dude, this guy was sick.
Yeah, I know.
Noble bro, Richard Pryor, raised in sublime degree at Henry Brown Lodge 22. Initiated into the AANOMS at Karma Temple number 56 Oasis in Springfield Desert. Why are they always getting initiated in the desert or in a temple? Where is Jesus preaching? Where was Jesus always trying to be killed most of the time? Why do you think that Jesus was almost never in the temple preaching? Yes, he would be there, but it would get really crowded and it would get really populated because everyone wanted to come and hear what he had to say, including the Pharisees. And he knew, I got to dip set out of here soon because these Pharisees are in the back plotting on how to kill me. This is why Jesus, you actually don't see him in the temple a lot. He said, and that's why he says, I'm going to destroy this temple. Because what is the pyramid? A temple. What is it? A place of worship. What did Jesus say? I'm the cornerstone of the temple. I'm the thing that you must worship, not the building itself. I will tear down this temple in 3 days. They got so mad at him. They're like, what do you mean you're going to tear down this temple? It took our fathers 60 years. How many years to build this temple?
And you know that the temples, that flat region on either side of the human head, it's
Yes, the
situated.
temple, and that's like the most softest, or the like, yes, the like softest part of your head.
But this is where like New Age comes in, right? So you got the temple. We just talked about Solomon's temple. There's the Satanic temple. Jesus in the temple, turning tables. But the temple is literally, we were saying, blessed are those with the eyes to see and the ears to hear. The temple is situated behind the eyes, between the forehead and the top of the ear.
Yes,
The temple
that
is
is
next to the eye and the ear. So, yeah, that's how they
again.
got that. They got
You
rid of
got
all
to you got
symbolic.
to understand this stuff because it helps. It will help because that's how it helped me. I knew about. I've seen all this stuff. Oh, Trump's not a Mason. Well, then why are him and Hannity doing a freaking Masonic handshake right here live on TV in front of you? The thumb on the knuckle, the second knuckle. But see, most people watch this and they think nothing of it. What a terrible handshake too. Trump, I'm a real man. Hannity, I'm the man's man. Well, they always tell when you were growing up, your father told you make sure you shake somebody's hand nice and firmly. What kind of crap is this handshake? A little light, you hand your hand out, and then the person places their thumb on your knuckle. What kind of handshake is that?
Has these firm handshakes. He wants to,
Oh,
like,
Putin's a good guy. You know how many people I see saying Putin's a good guy. He's against the New World Order. He doesn't have the Federal Reserve and all this stuff because he's actually fighting the New World Order with Trump. Oh, then why is he shaking Henry Kissinger's hand, doing the thumb on the knuckle?
mate, Netanyahu's just posted a photo of him with Chuck Norris.
Wow. And here's Mr.
What is Chuck Norris doing hanging out with Netanyahu?
Yeah, that's pretty
You know,
weird.
again, questions need to be asked.
Yes, see, thumb on the knuckle. Start paying attention to these things. Start paying attention. Now, most of you in the chat know, but if you're watching this and you still continue to deny, I mean, how many? We didn't even go through all my photos today, but again, because look, it's just like all of them. They're participating in these rituals, in this symbology. Why? Is it to be artsy? Is it? I don't think so. Because look, then you see the Masonic ritual. Why does the Masonic temple have the Star of David in their headquarters? If they worship Lucifer, and this is supposedly the Star of David, supposedly, why is it in the Freemasonic temple?
True, yeah.
These are questions. Oh, wait, but because the hexagon, you then can draw a star within the middle of the hexagon, which is a ritual. You have the as above, so below, the two triangles, aka two pillars, male and female, God versus Satan, right? Intermixing, combining, and then you have the 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coincidence?
I
I
think
think
not.
not.
I think not.
Bob Marley, great guy. Yeah, he died in a weird way. He became famous because he was against the system. I'm against the system, man. Rastafarian. Yeah, they're making symbols like this for Bob Marley. Masonic lion in the thing. Bob Marley covering his eye. Like, I'm sorry, we've all fallen short. Lionel Richie, like I said, Stephen Colbert. We've exposed all these people, but continue. Tyra Banks.
Wow.
I mean,
What are they freaking doing, guys?
why?
What are they doing?
Ben Stiller, Hidden Vow, Andy Garcia, Andrew Garfield played Spider-Man,
Devil Horns.
Jimi Hendrix, Along at the Watchtower, Liam Hemsworth. I mean, how much of it? This guy's literally got the Masonic square compass and square tattooed on his skull.
Ay, ay, ay.
Ashton Kutcher, oh, he's helping fighting human trafficking. He's not a part of it. Okay.
Sure.
He's wearing a freaking Freemason hat out at the freaking basketball game, you guys.
Have you seen how he's got Ash in his name as well?
Ash, yes, Ash ton. Like, what is when you have a bunch of weight or guilt on you?
Yeah,
They call it you have a ton. You feel like you have a weight on you.
he's also got her because there's another female.
He does have her. Yeah, mostly, and that's the thing too. These people are not who they say they are because they're messing with the genetics. Back to the garden, DNA. I love Shaq. Shaq's one of the best players ever. He talks like he's really, really smart. But then he wears this big Masonic ring. What's that, Shaq? What are you wearing? Oh, this is my religion. You don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, he said that, didn't he?
Calls himself Superman, the Snake, the S, the Supermen. Liv Tyler. Oh, you just said Tyler, the door, the Masonic, the daughter, son of
Liv Tyler, yeah.
Yeah, Liv Tyler, live as a Mason, a hidden, a guard. Osiris, live like Las Vegas, or like live, yeah.
They want to live forever, don't they?
There's also with Liv Tyler, I see the word vile, V-I-L-E. They're vile, and vile is what? Evil.
They are vile.
Mark Ruffalo, oh, he's a good guy. He talks the good things. He says we shouldn't be doing this. He's not a bad guy. He plays Hulk, the Green Monster.
Mark of the Beast.
Mark of the Beast. Models, actors, celebrities. I mean,
all of them at that level.
All of them. Jake Gyllenhaal played Donnie Darko, a movie all about Donald Trump and following the rabbit. Jackie Chan. Oh, no, but Jackie Chan's not doing anything crazy, brother. He's just a martial artist like Chuck Norris. It's not involved in martial arts. Yes, huh? Martial arts is meant to teach you all about self and self-control, which, hey, that's good. I'm not saying if you're participating in martial arts and having this form of self-control, being able to protect yourself, but it's all about activating chakras and chis and meditation, you see? The deeper meaning behind the martial arts.
Jackie with his female name as well.
Jackie, yes. At this point, I can't say who male and female is because they're so good at hiding and shrouding who they've become, who they are, who they play. They wear masks. You sound crazy when you say it, but then you look at what they're doing, stuff like this, and you're just like, man, they're pretty good at hiding and keeping secrets.
Yeah, they have. They have mastered that.
They have mastered. That's what I mean. You got to give it to them. They're good actors. But as I've shown you before, what are actors? They are hypocrites. Beyonce Knowles, Queen Bee, she's amazing. She's my idol. How many children dance to this woman's music and have posters of her in their room, all over their phone, dress like her, want to be like her? Here she is wearing the one eye. No, she was Christian. Brother, she grew up in a Christian household. She was a gospel singer until she decided to marry Jay-Z, who made a song called Lucifer.
Oh my word, yeah. Lucifer, son of the morning.
Lucifer, Lucifer, son of the morning, I'm gonna take you out of love. Lucifer, Lucifer, son of the morning. Why do you think he calls himself the son of the morning? Because that's Jesus Christ. Lucifer is the light bearer. America's a Christian nation, brother. Yeah, we've got the Statue of Liberty holding up the light. Helios holding up the light, the statue. Lucifero wearing a golden crown. Santa Lucia wearing golden candlesticks above their head. Prometheus, the bringer of fire to humanity. He stole fire from Zeus. See, this is why, oh, who's Prometheus? I have no idea. They made a song. Whoa, oh, a riddle. We're going to solve a riddle right now from Prometheus. Who made the song, who made the movie Prometheus?
Let's have a look.
Ridley Scott.
Riddler.
Great Scott.
The Riddler.
The Riddler. Great Scott. Riddler. What is God trying to do? He's trying to rid this world of evil. Right?
Yeah.
And Damon almost looks like Demon. Written by John and Damon Lindelf, is the 5th installment of the Alien series, which assembles a cast. Michael. You have Guy Pearce, which has Peace, P-E-A-C-E. Guy Peace.
Have you seen Prometheus as Rome in it?
Yeah, Prometheus has Rome in it. It also has pro, like being pro. You like pro means to be for something. These people are for this agenda. They are for the alien agenda. Like we've been trying to tell you, all of this is coming back to the alien. The aliens are here, folks. They ain't coming from outer space. They already fell from space. They're the fallen angels.
Prometheus has prom in it, where you go and get wasted to try and have sex with a girl.
Yep, or where yeah, that is very true. A lot of people lose their virginity, like the movie American Pie. What was it all about? A pact to lose your virginity by prom.
Yep. Prom.
Right? See, all about sex. Back to sex. All about thing. Earth seeking new origins of humanity. What's the origin of humanity start with? Sex. The crew arrives on a distinct world and discovers a threat that could cause human extinction. James Cameron.
There he is again, JC.
JC. I mean, you see, it's littered. Prometheus is the light bringer, and in the movie Prometheus, the robot David is the one that intersects with humanity and right here, Alien. But in 2012, Lando joined the project to write the script. He and Scott developed a story that precedes the story of Alien, that is not directly connected to the original series, but according to Scott, though the film shares strands of Alien's DNA and takes place in the same universe, Prometheus explores its own mythology and ideas about us being created from these builders.
Right, bro, we got 10 more minutes. We've done over 3 hours.
Yep.
So, any more?
Let me find some really provocative images now. Because like I said, I can't go over 20,000 images in a day, but I can show you all the stuff. I mean...
The images you've shown have been absolutely incredible. What you do need to do at some point is get those images in a video, music, and just play them. Do like a 5, 6, 7 minute video.
One thing that really hurt me was, and Satan really got me, was I had a hard drive which I had everything organized, and it was a 12 terabyte storage hard drive. 12 terabytes. Imagine that.
Yeah,
and I had like 5 terabytes of stuff all organized. That hard drive died on me. And let me tell you how long it takes to organize images when you have 40,000. You got the Illuminati card game here. I mean, they like, folks.
I know. It's just unbelievable. Like, imagine we learnt this at school and they showed us all of this. Just Freemasons are behind the education system.
George Walker Bush. John F. Kennedy. You're two presidents, folks. When you say, I'm going to vote in the election, I'm going to vote for this guy, I'm for Bush, I'm for Kerry. Well, guess what? You were for Pro Bonesman. Both a member of the Skull and Bones, Yale 322, founded.
She's 7, doesn't it?
Look at from its foundation, Sunday, October 9th, 1701, to the day of when the death of mother of the Yale founder was 322 years and 322 days. You're telling me this stuff's not coded?
Wow.
You're telling me that this stuff isn't ritualistically being done?
You know,
Is that what you're real?
3 times 22 is 66 for
Six.
Revelation.
Well, that's what I mean. It is a representation of 666. I'm voting for this guy because he's a great president. I agree with his values and his ideology. Harry Truman, although I hold the highest civil honor in the world, I have always regarded my rank and title as a past Grand Master of Masons the greatest honor that has ever come to me. So he didn't even think that being president or a world leader was better than being a Grand Master in Freemasonry.
There you go.
You see why these presidents don't care about you? This is why you don't vote. This is why it doesn't matter. Look at George Washington. They made sure to tell you that George Washington's greatest accomplishment was not being the first president of America. What's the first thing in this image, folks? Freemason and first president. Not first president and Freemason. Freemason and first president.
Yeah, good point.
You see, it is an honor to these people to come out of the dark. Pink Floyd.
My people.
See, we could like just sit here and read the Masonic books that I have. Like, you know, this is why you got to follow my Instagram. I try to post all this stuff so that you can take your own time to read what's hard to find, because that's why I have to take screenshots and I keep things, because how many people are reading the book of Freemasonry to understand these poses and these things that they're teaching in their books? Nobody. No. Unless you watch the programs, you watch the videos, right? Unless you see the stuff, you're not going to know. Duncan's Ritual of Freemason, like they're telling you, because they write books for each other because they want you to understand that they control everything. Freemasonry controls the world, but Freemasonry is not what it is. It's the umbrella. Freemasonry is simply an umbrella. Think of it like that, okay? An umbrella. So when you think of secret societies and all this, they're just the umbrella. They're the mask.
Does Penguin from Batman have an umbrella?
Yes, he does. And he comes from what? The sea? He lives by the ice and the ocean. He has to stay cold. And he eats fish to stay alive. What does Jesus say? We're fishers of men?
Fishers of men, yeah.
Okay.
Cold as ice.
People say Obama's the Antichrist. We say Trump's the Antichrist. Well, at the end of the day, they're both Antichrist. And look at, while they sit there and have public feuds on the camera, Donald Trump's crazy. We should never, Obama, he faked his birth certificate. Blah. See how they create the problem in the public. Then I'll be the solution. But then they go to Jimmy Carter's funeral and they're nice and buddy, smiling, having great conversation in private where nobody's listening, nobody's watching other than the few cameras. And they ain't afraid. They ain't afraid to say, look.
This is part of the black magic, though, isn't
this is part of this MAGA, the great deception. They're buddies behind closed doors and enemies at the front. Donald's the worst guy ever. Obama went on Twitter and all these things. Pigs will fly before Trump ever becomes president. Yeah, Obama knew that Trump was going to be president.
Of course he did.
They're buddies. Oh, Dustin, the symbology, Trump's not worshipped around the world. Now, why is places like Italy making these statues of Trump wielding a sword, like we've been talking about today, with wings of an eagle, with the one eye Illuminati, with Caesar head? You guys, text Trump, 8822, we're going 88 miles per hour, 22 chapters of Revelation. The beast system is rising. Trump didn't just choose 8822 because he said, you know what, 88 and 22 are just numbers I want to use for my campaign.
22 times 4 is 88, and World War I was exactly 224 weeks.
Wow. And people tell me Donald Trump doesn't equal 666. No, Donald J. Trump equals 888, but Don Trump is his real name. This is his real name.
Don
Is
didn't.
Don Trump. Because they changed their name after World War II. Because guess what? His father did not want him to know that they were associated with the Germans. Not a great thing to be associated with. Oh, Trump can't be the Antichrist. Well, his family's trying really hard to like follow in the footsteps of Jesus, down to his grandmother, who was Mary's cousin.
Elizabeth. John the
Elizabeth.
Baptist's
Okay,
mother.
Donald Trump's grandmother's name is Elizabeth Christ Trump. She was born on October 10th, 1888. 1880. There's the 88. Okay, and there's 1 and 1. Dies on June 6th, the month that Donald Trump is born in June, in 1966. So she is literally, her name's Elizabeth Christ Trump, which has tons of ties to the Bible, and she dies on 6/6/66.
In New York. There's some up in New York, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Most of these people start from another country or another place that they're born, some
They used
small
to live
town,
in New
but they
York.
always end up in LA, California, New York, or one of these major hubs. And then, this is what I like to do too. I like to look at what words equal. Words equal things. This is why these phrases and these things that these people say have powers, because there are numbers affiliated with it. At the end of the day, numbers have power, but the numbers bring power to the word. Right? Donald J. Trump equals 888. Destruction equals 888. Nuclear weapon equals 888. Beast system equals 888. Is that just a coincidence?
Let me read
Nebuchadnezzar. Rock 47, luck 47. You see, like, this is what being a watchman in Christ is. It's testing the things that you see. When I see somebody's face getting minted on the third temple coins in Israel being compared to King Cyrus, my ears perk up. And it should make your ears perk up too. If it just was all about having a gold coin to enter the temple, why put all of the symbology in these things? 70 years, 70. Why? You guys got to really take this stuff more seriously if you still don't. Okay? What age is Donald Trump where he's probably acting the most antichrist he's ever acted? Daniel 78, Trump 78 years old. You see, the Bible, I believe, is coded with the Antichrist because of the numbers. I considered the horns. Horn means trumpet. And behold, there came upon them a little horn, whom there was the first three of in the horns, plucked up by the roots. And beheld, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Why is Daniel making sure that he's making us aware that this person rises to power through all this other political power structures? Okay, because it's all linked. Okay, there's been many antichrists, but there's only one antichrist. That's another thing which people really need to get like through their eyes. Is that they understand they understand what they're doing, okay? Because they have the hidden knowledge. Again, it's this is just how it works, folks.
Did you see what happened with Luka Doncic yesterday?
Oh yeah, he scored what, 70
He got
points?
60 points, right? He got 60 points. First LA player since Kobe to get 60. Kobe, the last game he ever attended in the Lakers Stadium was LA against Luka's Dallas. And if you go watch it, Luka got to 60 points with 14.8 seconds on the clock. Exactly like Kobe. There was 14.8 seconds on the clock when he got to 60 in his last ever game. And just type in Revelation 14:8.
I will, but first, so people know, I will type that in. Why is Luka doing all this stuff, and why is he a key figure? Oh, because he has the one eye tattooed on his wrist.
And he's got Don in his name.
And he's got Don, and he's got the tiger.
You
don't just get this stuff tattooed on you unless it means something to you, folks. All right, we'll do the Revelation. We'll wrap it up. Because again, go to my Instagram, go to my highlights and stories. I post all this stuff that you need to see. If you want a screenshot, if you need images, you can hit me up anytime on Instagram. I'll try to find whatever I can to you. So if there's people in your life that are still denying that this is going on, that this is really how it is. Sorry, what did you want me to type in? Revelation what?
14:8. And please hit the like button if you haven't already. We're going to go in like less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
Revelation 14:8. Luca got his 60th point with 14.8 seconds on the clock from the free throw line, just like Kobe did in his last ever game. Revelation 14:8. People don't know this.
And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, the great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Now look, so you've got the great you were just talking about, right? You got the angel for Los Angeles Lakers, and then you've got the fornication for California.
Yes.
Right? The whore, Babylon. I keep telling everyone Babylon's collapsing. It's like then stuff like this happens, and Donald Trump won the 60th quadrennial US election on 60 date numerology, and you've got the 60 with Nebuchadnezzar, don't you? Nebuchadnezzar, he made an idol of gold that stood 60 cubits.
Yep, and then it said what? It said it's drunk on her fornication, the Mystery Babylon. I believe Mystery Babylon, it's either Israel or America. It could be Rome. But see, all these systems are actually combined. And so what I think Mystery Babylon really is this system which everybody is drunk on. As our FBI director goes to the hockey game while the Epstein files are still in controversy, we have all this stuff that needs to be done and investigated, people that need to be investigated. He's over there getting drunk.
Wow. Yeah, exactly.
And she was drunk, and we're drunk, okay? This is why they promote alcohol more than anything, because when you're drunk, you are out of touch.
You're out of touch.
Yeah, oh, Daryl Hall, yeah. Daryl Hall. The Hall of Freemasonry, the right, to get your picture up in the hall, to be honored.
The Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame. Because you want to be like a god. You see, nothing new under the sun, folks.
That's what the Hall of Fame is as well. It makes them, like, live forever, doesn't it?
It does make them. That's why imagery is so important. If the Egyptians didn't care about imagery, why would they put this bird, which is the phoenix, all over their freaking culture? And then here in America, we adopt the ancient Egyptian culture. So when people say, "Oh, America, that has nothing to do with Egypt," well, symbolism says different. You think that's a bald eagle, but it's a phoenix.
Ephesians 5:18, and be not drunk with wine wherein excess, but be filled with the Spirit. And that because they win these awards, and all they do is go get drunk.
That's right. They teach you to party and
Iron Babylon.
Yep.
So what are you doing it? You celebrate. You celebrate your graduation, you get drunk. You celebrate a promotion, you get drunk. You celebrate winning an Oscar, people get drunk. All right, just falling into the hands of the wicked one. Right.
They're evil, all of them, and they're telling you who they are. They're snakes. Look at their eyes. All right.
Wolves.
They're wolves in sheep's clothing. Be careful who you follow. Okay. Be careful what you trust.
Be careful.
All right. Remember, when men say peace and safety, sudden destruction shall come. So this is what we want to warn you of today. This is what's happening today. This drive for peace. So you make a board of peace. Did Jesus say that a board of peace would bring peace?
No, only he will bring peace.
Well, and actually, too, let's end it on that. Right now, Jesus actually isn't wanting to bring peace. Because what did he say in the Bible? This is why people don't know the Bible. People say, oh, God, he loves peace.
He's going to bring division.
That's correct. That's correct. It's not about peace, not with God, not when you know the Bible, because if you listen to Jesus' words, suppose ye that I have come to give peace on earth. God, you're the Messiah. You're the great one. You will bring peace, which he will. Okay? He's not saying he's not here, but in the earthly flesh, in this battle, this war that we're in right now, which we've exposed to you today, in just a small fraction of time. This is years of information and research shown in a small fraction of 3 hours in a stream. We're telling you, it's a division that is being brought upon the earth. Suppose ye that I have come to give peace on the earth? No, I tell you, Jesus tells you. So don't listen to me or Adam or anybody else or anybody that says God is all about peace and love. Well, where are you getting that from Jesus? Because in his words to us, I tell you, nay, no, but rather division. What are we watching today? March Madness and all the different divisions playing games. It's a game, you guys. It's a game. Unfortunately, that it is the truth. Like, we are all born into this game. If you're born, you have the living, breathing word of spirit within you. Because remember, God breathed his life into man and made them like himself. This was the difference between us and the angels, the division that happened within the heavenly realm and creation itself. God divided man from the angels, and the angel said, "We want to be like man." And then what did the angels tell man to try to be like? To be like God. And what has that done now? Well, from here thenceforth, with the division that's on the earth, there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, 3 against 2, and 2. There's 3, 2, 2. Oh my word! Live. I did what? Brother, are you here?
Yes.
Do you see this? In verse 52, when he says, I've come to bring division, he said, from thenceforth, in verse 52, there shall be 5 in house, 1 divided. Okay, so the division, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. 3, 2, and 2.
Oh, bro.
What? Jesus has just exposed that this is division from the wheat and the tare, the evil against the good against the evil, who is only good? God.
God.
So see, he's saying
5
this
in
is a
one house
division.
divided, 3 against 2,
2
and
and
2 against 3.
that also goes backwards.
32 and 23 are so massive in the decoding of sports with me. 32 and 23.
Well, and that makes me see 3, 2, 2, 3. So then when I see a number, like when it really pops out to me like that, I see 3, 2, 2 forward and backwards. So there's the as above, so below, or the mirrored image. Like, see, in Jesus' own words, he's mirroring almost a code. You see what I'm saying? When you actually study the Bible, see people just read that and they don't see the 3, 2, 2 because they don't know about 3, 2, 2 skull brotherhood death. Isn't that amazing? Jesus is exposing it right there when he's saying he comes to bring division. That's what this world, politics, everything is all constantly doing to us, bringing division. And now I'm going to go to the Strongs. Okay, this is just the Bible. I'm going to go to 3, 2, 2, 3.
That might be. Amber's mentioned it a little bit. So, the Beckham family, you've got like the son turning against the father and the daughter's turning against the mother.
Yes. Well, it says that in the verse too. It
I was
says
saying that with it. So God's probably gonna use these really famous families. Thingy didn't Will Smith's son turn on him?
yes. Well, his son is now like participating and becoming, his own person. But exactly.
Yeah, you're seeing division in these Hollywood families. The Kardashians started falling out.
So I see 3, 2, 2, 3, and it might not mean anything with the son of Simeon, okay? From Yom or El, there's God, okay? There's God revealing himself, or gods, okay? These gods, goodly, greatly, Ael, okay? Oh, a ram!
Oh wow, bro.
Back to what we started with, and to end it. Wow, this is God.
A chief was the nickname.
Sacrifice, yes, a chief.
But that was the nickname.
A strong tree. Oh my gosh.
So LeBron just matched up Robert Parrish, yeah?
Yes, Parrish.
But his nickname was the Chief.
Wow.
It's all, yeah. Come on, Jesus, just come now.
Come now, yeah, seriously. This is crazy, okay? We start with the ram and we said this all goes back to sacrifice. What does the ram represent? Sacrifice, the bloodline, Abraham's covenant with God.
The bloodline, the blood.
And what did Satan want him to do? He wanted him to murder. God said to sacrifice your son, but he was never going to have him murder a son. Now, if he would have went through with it, would that have been God? Because God intervened. God intervened with us. God always has intervened with us. He intervened in the garden. He told man what not to do. He told us what to do with the 10 Commandments. He told us how to do this. All throughout his word, he's intervening constantly through men and through even our fallen nature, constantly intervening. But when God's not intervening, who's there to supplement? Satan.
The devil.
That's right. So that's why you need to be careful who you follow, who you sacrifice your time and energy to. Is it to the word of God, to the true chief prince of peace? Or is it to this world and these fallen friggin' brotherhoods, which from 322 lead to a ram?
Wow.
Matthew Stafford, the Los Angeles Ram, received the MVP this last year. Matthew, as we're going through the book of Matthew, the
Moses,
Ram,
yeah, Moses.
the end of the world. It's just too much. It's too
Yeah,
much for most people to understand, but it's also very clear for those that have the eyes to see. And that's why Jesus said, all right, one more. Because again, we love giving praise to Jesus. We are not here to give praise to the devil. We're here to give praise to Jesus and reveal the mysteries which Jesus Christ gave us.
yes.
Okay? And so this is what I say. Or this is what Jesus said. Again, don't take my word for it. Take what Jesus said for it. I hate when it freaking does this. I don't know. It's like a new thing where it just times out for some reason. Matthew 13, the parable of the wheat and the tare. Behold, a sower went forth to sow. Okay, we plant a seed. Some by the side. Okay, down a little bit lower. Here it goes. Verse 10, my birthday, or 10, my birthday. I was born on the 10th. And the disciples came to him and said, why thou speakest in parables? See, they didn't understand. They were not getting what Jesus was saying, but because God loves them and he was trying to reveal to them, like Satan reveals to us through his symbols and all his different things, Jesus is now giving them the revelation. He is revealing, like what's happening right now. He said, Jesus said, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whoever hath to him it shall be given, and he shall have more in abundance. But whoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand.
Wow.
Because for in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saying, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing shall you see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I shall heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. You see what a blessing it is to
Feels like
have
it's
this
speaking to us.
information?
Feels like it's speaking to us.
He is speaking. He's speaking to all of you listening right now. He's trying to tell you, I want you to understand this parable, just like he's telling the disciples. But if you can't see the symbolism, you can't see the signs, you can't see all the things that are in your world and around you, your heart's waxed cold. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it has.
It's become dull. It's become numb. Jesus telling you this. This is why it's so hard for people to see, because they do not want to see. They do not want to hear what we're saying. Like I said, everyone will go and watch. How many people? That's probably why we won't get much people watching today anyway. There's games on, Adam. I got to watch for my bracket. Oh, here, let me check my bracket real fast. I got to see how my teams are
That was a
doing.
good point with what you said about divisions. And how many of these college games have you noticed are going to the last second?
Well, you've been
Almost
saying that
every one of them.
every day. You've been
Almost
saying that
every
it's
one
all
of them
been going
goes
to
the
the
last
death.
shot, overtime. It's like, give me a break, guys. The death. It's death. It's all about death.
Oh my gosh, Adam. You know what? I wasted a bunch of time today. I have a bracket going. I like to do them just because I like to pick, because I like to see the names. Like I said, it's kind of fun to just predict, because it's this tournament especially. But I've got 98% picked right so far, brother.
What the heck?
Haven't watched a single game of college basketball.
Yeah, it's all
Why do
COVID.
why do I see things? Well, A, they give you the ranking, they give you the number. See how most people make their brackets? What do they base it off of? Not the teams, the team and its name and its symbol, like how we do, based
Yeah.
on their rank that is given to them.
There
You see?
were rankings in heaven as well, weren't there?
Yes, you see. So people are more attached to numbers than they want to believe, and then they don't look at the symbolism to see why they have that number. Duke Blue Devils. I feel like they have a great shot this year. Why? Because I'm seeing a lot of blue. I'm seeing a lot of devil. Beast rises from the sea. The sea is blue. I'm not saying Duke's going to win it. I'm just saying it would be their 6th championship this year. which is interesting. And I feel like the Blue Devils are the demons. So wouldn't it be a great story for the Blue Devils to win this year when the beasts are rising from the sea?
Mate, I've just seen that Chuck Norris was born exactly 17 years before Bin Laden. I don't know how many more 9/11 codes I've got to do.
It's
What?
pretty. But
He's
9/11 is like 88. If you applied 9 to 1 and 1, it beat 88, right?
Yeah, so he's just died 10 days after his birthday. That was Bad Bunny's birthday, the 310. It's Revelation 310. Right, bro. Crazy stream. Guys, hit the like on your way out. Hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully more people watch it. Like you said, they are probably watching March Madness, or maybe they're at work. I don't usually stream this early. Thank you, Watchman. So many incredible reveals there. We can do this again because you've got tens of thousands of images.
Maybe next time we get on a stream, because like I said, it just takes time. And when you have 3 children under 5 years old, time is very hard to just sit down and organize. And like I said, I was doing it and I got the wind out of my cell was taken. When, like I said, my hard drive died. That was years of work just kind of killed. So all my images are everywhere. I still have those images. It's just, I was trying to get them all compiled, and I'll really work hard on trying to do that, dedicate some time, make some categories, and then we can kind of break down categories more than just like, oh, let's look at some images and try to, but look we were able to still talk for almost 4 hours off just randomly seeing things.
Yeah, I know.
Like how powerful is this when we have everything organized, so, but it just takes time, and time is truly what we're all sacrificing. So, but at the end of the day, who cares about the images? Who cares about the games today? You know what I care about? God and his time. And I'm dedicated to giving God the time he deserves. Are you? Ask yourself that. Don't ask me or the illusion. Ask yourself.
Amen. All right, guys, thank you for the ones who watched, especially the ones who were there from the beginning. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. And get into the Bible. Study that Bible, okay? God bless you all. Take care. Much love. God wins.